I think a lot of us watched ImAllexx videos when we were younger, or even now. I know I used to watch him a lot, bro, back in the day. I would watch him, I'd watch him a lot back in the day, but I haven't watched him in a while. So then when I saw this show, I was like, okay. Sorry, YouTube, I said the S word. Please don't demonetize me. He's from the UK and unironically used to come out against domestic abuse from other content creators. Oh. Yeah, I feel like I've seen some videos. Videos she recorded in secret are pretty bad, Chris. Are they? I wonder if this person's gonna show them. All right, let's turn up, dude. Let's turn up, bro. Let's see what's going on here. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, but yeah, I don't know the full extent. I didn't even like watch the full videos. I just saw him being like, I'm gonna take a brick, and I was like, what? What?
So we have a breaking story from one of ImAllexx's exes, and her name is Alice. She alleges a ton of things against him, including physical, emotional, and mental abuse, and she compiles all of it together in a super long statement document, 82 pages long of just text messages and her descriptions for each message and what it all means and context, which I'm not going to read every single one in this video, but they are actually absolutely insane to see, along with a couple of videos and voice memos that she has seemed to attach to this statement document. I'm just going to read the sections that she writes out and then kind of skim over some of the text messages for you guys. If you want to see the entire thing, it'll be linked below in the description, and then timestamps will be chaptered in the video if you want to skip to certain parts. And of course, everything in this video is all just allegations. There could be other context missing. There could be things that ImAllexx wants to clarify. This is just Alice's perspective. And yes, her name is Alice and his name is Alex, so it might be hard to distinguish the names. I'll be very definitive when I say Alex for the continuation of this video. But there's tons of allegations in this document that he would threaten to kill her. He would physically abuse her, kick her, hit her. He would shut down every single...
Ain't no way I'm Diddy. There's no way.
Idea she ever had, and just tell her to kill herself.
What?
All sorts of other terrible, crazy things. But we're just going to jump into it from the top, where she says, trigger warning, mentions of sexual assault, suicide, depression, and assault. This is a sensitive subject for me, as I have struggled to figure out how to put it into words. I have been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he will create a contradicting story to discredit my own, but I'm not scared anymore. No matter what is said in response to the statement, I know I've said my piece and can move on with my life. I made this document as a compilation of my experiences while being with Alex and have put screenshots of these accounts under the corresponding paragraphs. This will be a long one, as I want to start from the beginning so you can understand the full story and heavy burden this has been on me. We had known each other for years before we interacted, and were seeing each other for a few months before anything was official. We started officially dating on March 17, 2023, giving each other 100% of our attention, time, and effort with no arguments. After that, time passed and small things became huge issues which were over Discord at first. Alex felt that because I am home all day and work from home, that I should be able to call 24/7 and completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friend.
What? Yo, hold on. I need to get a little extra context here. ImAllexx. Age 25, bro. What? I mean, he's still like kind of young, but like he's probably 24 at the time, maybe 25 at the time, right? Like trying to be on call 24/7, you know?
To avoid that, I invited him into my groups and stopped working as much. These small arguments worsened to the point where he would turn on his camera and start shouting at me on call. He's gone as far as to tell me to self-harm at this point, after I told him about my history prior. This would be accompanied with multiple horrible messages calling me a whore, a bitch, and slimy. He would also tell me that I caused arguments as an excuse for me to leave him, saying, I don't know how I ended up with someone like you. And she starts off showing texts where Alex would just spam her with things, saying he doesn't care if she cries. And they basically have this argument back and forth about showing up to Alex's home. And Alex gets really mad at her for some reason over this, saying, fuck you, weird fucking idiot, you win, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. with what seems to be
What?
her being dodgy about getting in a call, I guess. At worst, that's what this seems like. And he has like a complete meltdown over her being a little dodgy about calling. She then shows that she was trying to extend an olive branch to hang out, and that he just said, actually, I'm going to do my work and then let's just not hang out at all. And she gets very confused at this. Then later saying he's pissed off, saying she's unbearable. See ya, shut the fuck up, like I hate you. Over her basically looking like she just needs a lot of reassurance, I guess. At worst, just being needy and wanting extra attention. She continues in her statement saying,
Austin, sleep well, King. Love ya. Have a great day tomorrow. Appreciate you, brother.
after screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I've ever said, he would explain how it was always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he was made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. I would get breakup threats because I interacted with my followers' tweets, which I would then apologize for after he made it clear he was very upset but demands more from me. This would be followed by him continuing to call me a bitch and threatening, I'm going to refollow everyone I unfollowed for you if you're going to be like that. Which, by the way, I found later on he was still interacting with many people he had old relationships with, and found him stalking his ex with her old nudes on his phone.
What?
Then we get some more text where he says, I'm done with your stupid ass. It is so fucking weird that you will die for liking that tweet. She says that you pissed me off and now you mad. No, I won't. That's not it. I don't care about that. I apologize for that. He says, I'm going to refollow all the people I unfollowed for you. If you're going to be like that, then it can be like that. She responds, Kay, you keep calling me shit. I'm done. Go follow them. Bye. He says, how do you not understand? I hate you.
How do you not understand? I hate you. And how even now you're on purposely being so dense.
And how even now you're on purposely being so dense, because I know you know I'm right. You're just going to be difficult on purpose because it's what you done. I don't know why you make everything hard. You literally just can't sit here and roll over on something so tiny. She says, I did. I said, I'm sorry. Wasn't that what got us here? Then she continues her statement. I'm going to link all the horrible messages that have been sent to me.
Sorry, I've been watching too much Oompaville. Now I give them the little like nerd voice. Whenever I read something like this, when they're being like a total nerd. All fun and games till somebody does that to like one of my tweets one day. Wait, hold on. Today, I've hit literally my lowest sub count on Twitch while actively streaming here since like 2020. And at first, I couldn't shake a feeling of sadness. My bad, dude. My bad. I had to clown on myself a little bit there. Anyways.
They consist of him calling me unlovable, whore, psycho, constantly calls me sick, telling me he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to pause again, but yeah, Chucky, I don't get it. It's kind of crazy. I think it's either like a serious mental illness or just people like literal psychopaths.
Doesn't want to be with me, breaks up with me, and then takes it back. Then after all these arguments, he apologizes and love bombs me for forgiveness. For context, in regards to me, I have depression and he made it severely worse when he would insult me and make me feel like he doesn't care or love me. I found it hard to stay happy every day, dating someone who said these things so easily to me, feeling no remorse or guilt. He just flew past the days like nothing ever happened. This was immensely draining on my side. I don't know if this is just a me thing, so I've been scared to talk out about this because I'm worried I won't be easily understood.
No, bro, you're getting emotionally drained by this dude acting like a 13-year-old. Like, bro, in my first relationship, I was like hella overprotective. I was like over the top. I needed like attention a lot. I was never this bad. 15-year-old Chris, 10 years younger than this dude, was never this bad, dude. This guy is a menace.
People will question why I even stayed, and believe me, I wish I could turn back time. But I believed his lies when he apologized to me, and I really tried to believe he would stop going so far if I asked him to. I thought I was good enough for him to stop calling me a whore, or tell me to die, or threaten to leave in every argument. Then Alice posts some more text messages where Alex says, it was intentional. I wanted this to happen. The little bit about gluten was genius. She says goodnight. Alex continues, you're a freak because even though you know I called you to...
Greenish, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I love you. I love you. Thank you, King. You're fucking real as hell for that. Real as hell for that, brother.
Buy you your fucking correct food. You hung up on me. Talk about grateful. You got a weird way of showing it. She says, I said thank you multiple times. Alex responds, but you can't get that through your thick skull, so why hang up on me? And then she says, wow. Alex responds, when I mistake your shitty attitude for being shitty, you have me like 2 seconds. And then she says, "You're being so mean for what?" And Alex responds, "Because you're a silly cunt." She responds, "I was sad. I'm going to sound sad. Talk about kicking someone while they're down." Alex starts typing in all caps saying, "But you keep talking over me." And she says, "Now you're finding anything to be mad at." Alex responds, "So you don't hear
Greenish, let's go. Iron King got a sub. Thank you, Obi. I appreciate you, bro. You ain't gotta do all that. You gotta do all that. I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth. Better watch yourself. Better watch yourself, brother. My bad.
shit." And she says, "Because you said it was my attitude." And this was before I hung up. And Alex says, "All right, Alice, if this is what you want, I'm mad at you." She says, "It's what you want. You're making it." And Alex responds, "I don't like you. I hate you." And
I
Alex says,
hate you.
"WTF." Alex says, "You deserve it." And she says, "I'm done with you. I don't." Alex says, "I don't actually care." She says, "I don't deserve it." And Alex says, "I genuinely think I've completely fallen out of love with you because you simply just don't try." She says, "You can't even see I made progress while I'm in bad moods. I reassure you I stop and say thank you. You were so horrible. Wow, I tried so hard." Alex says, "Was going to say something on call." Then she says, "You didn't." And then he says, "But you keep hanging up." And then Alice is now saying, "Leave me alone. I'll get my dad to pick up my things." And then Alex responds, "I think you got what you wanted." Alice says, "You got what you wanted." And then he responds, "Woman, you are crazy." She says, "You said to break up. You wanted it." Alex says, "I do. I don't want to be with you. You're too much work." And then Alice says, "I changed and tried." And then he responds, "You're stressing me out." And then she says, "My best, like I tried my best." And then Alex says, "You hung up on me a day after this." Then she clarifies here that when she meant "I changed," she says, "When I say I changed, this was because Alex had a very big issue with me when I sounded sad. If I woke up upset after I explained to him that I'm depressed, I had to calmly approach him and watch my tone when I couldn't even get out of bed. I end up hanging up if he reacts badly and screams at me because I'm fed up with the abusive screaming and I'm tired." Then he breaks up with her, saying, "You're single, like properly." They talk about blocking each other and breaking up. Like it's obviously just a total disaster in these text messages, with Alex just completely melting down over it. Then she shows Discord messages where he's telling her to fuck off and die. She tries calling him. He says, "Stupid woman, I don't want you. Go away. I want to be alone." And they just have more of an argument here where she just calls him a cunt. He says, "Shut your fucking mouth." Like they're just arguing back and forth over Discord now, which I think is a continuation from the text messages that was just shown earlier. And then I don't know if these are supposed to be the next morning, like 8 p.m. and then 11:52 the next morning, or maybe it's like this is 8 at night and 11:52 at night. But she connects these two texts where they were telling each other like that they're cunts and that they should die. And then this text next to it where he says, "I love you, idiots. Please give me an easy ride." She says the easiest. He says, "Fuck, I feel dreadful." She says, "Are you okay? Dumb question, just thought I'd ask." And he says, "Because the weather I don't care about earlier." So showing that they have these random arguments and then he just randomly makes up with her.
Ooh.
And then she says that it got to points in arguments where he would just poke until I gave reaction, calling me names until I finally snapped. Whenever I would react, I would get threatened with a breakup. And showing texts that pretty much do exactly that. She's like saying that she's tired and that this is nothing, this argument's tiny. She's saying, "I'm sorry I shut at you. Like, really, you don't mean that. Everything's fine." And he's just continually saying, like, "I hate talking to you. I want to break up."
Fuck is Among Us? So they just back like just like that? Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh no, I didn't. Is it a vlog again? Did T Nichols make another vlog? What's going up, guys? What's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm not gonna address the fact that I may be a PDF file. I'm just gonna shoot some basketball. I'm here in a hotel. Chris Hansen, where'd you come from? Monka sounds like a part of the body, an ugly part. Yeah, on God, bro. Revolving door of a man, he's disgusting. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree with Chucky, by the way. Yeah. Mucus? That's how you... Wait. There's no way that's how you spell mucus. Are you fucking kidding me? The English language has failed me. I have not failed it. Being dyslexic is like a fairy without wings, chat.
Let's break up. I want to break up. I don't love you. I want to be single. She says, "Stop insulting me." He's calling her delusional.
He made a video of him saying he misses her. Not the whole part, but he did say that. I'm gonna die, bro.
bitch, go away, psycho, you're the craziest woman ever. And then eventually she kind of snaps, or she's just like, supportive, breakup, wow, bye. She says, I changed myself by suppressing my emotions, and that way I was not upset over previous arguments because he would get angry and tell me to get over it. He would tell me I said sorry so you would shut up. These were one-sided narcissistic arguments, telling me my feelings mean nothing and that they were based on wank. But when he is upset, I get spammed in my messages and 100 insults until I say sorry, no matter who was at fault. He would tell me he can
Wait. Sorry. Let me go back here. Based on wank? What does that mean? Based on nothing? Or these... They meant nothing? The feelings meant nothing because he was horny. Which one is it, though?
change my life forever, that I need him and that I am nothing without him and what he does for me.
Go ahead and graduate type video, not gonna lie. Oh, the Drake special?
He took out anger from his friends on me, telling me I can do everything I want alone without any of you. Then she shows messages where he says, you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this.
What?
It's fucking annoying. And also saying, I can do everything I want alone without any of you, frankly, like she said. And then she continues, work-related arguments.
This sounds like somebody in my chat moment. I'm not saying like somebody in particular, but I'm saying like somebody in like random motherfuckers in my chat that would just be like, you don't have a job. Oh, you fucking use your little camera for your job? It's not a real job. Shut up. Wanker, I think is some sort of UK slang, I guess. Yeah, wanker is a dumb... Wait, wanker is our dumbass? Wait, what? I'm having flashbacks. My ex and this dude, twins for real, both bitches. Well, there's like wanker, right? Which is like asshole. And then, oh yeah, I gotta fix the bot. Sorry, Mariner. I think you're still top 5 though, bro. What's up, by the way, brother? And then there's wanker, which is an asshole, and then having a wank, which means beating your shit. Style.
Arguments would be weekly, nearly daily if I showed signs of me being sad over something he said to me, quoting him saying, you should be fucking grateful that as someone with this expertise I actually have, try to talk to you about something like that.
What?
This was him talking about whether I wanted to do a stream or make YouTube videos.
No.
If the conversation didn't go his way or I said I didn't want to do a certain thing, he would blow up and get upset because I wouldn't do it his way, then continue to belittle me. I would always tell him I'm not with him for work talk. I don't care how much you can help me if all this will do is cause arguments. I don't care how successful I can be. He pushed on me to take his knowledge and make videos with him when all I want is my boyfriend. I only ever wanted something personal and genuine, and I never got that. Basically seeming to allege that he was trying to force her into becoming some kind of YouTuber or content creator. And when she was like, I don't really want to do that, he would just get ass mad about it and pissed that she's not making a fuckload of money on the internet, which is what these texts kind of show. If you want to read them, you can pause. And then it continues here. And then also here where he says you're a shit girlfriend, genuinely bad at it, and more.
What's up, boy girl Lindbergh?
Or just spamming and crying about her not wanting to be a content creator. She continues, he told me you're like everyone else, stupid fucking idiots who think they know better than the only man who's successfully done it all. I said
What? Wait. You're like everyone else, stupid fucking idiots who think they know better than the only man who has successfully done it all? That he thinks he's done it all. Bro, you got 2 million subs. Which, great, bro. I mean, you know, I don't have any room to talk. I got fucking not even 4,000 subs on a YouTube channel, right? And a YouTube channel with 1.1K, right? I got 12,000 Twitch followers, right? I ain't got shit to say. But, like, dude, to say, has successfully done it all is crazy.
Stream on Twitch, and he gave me reasons why I wouldn't work and reasons not to. I got sad because I was planning so much, set up my channel, went to him all happy about doing my own thing, and he devalued it and called me small-brained.
Well, yeah, that's the YouTuber mindset on Twitch streaming, which is like true, but like yeah, you're small-brained to stream on Twitch, but like it's about what makes you happy, not what's gonna make you successful. At least for me, at least that's the way I view it, bro. If I took fucking 4 to 6 hours a day to work on YouTube videos, and I did that for a year, oh, brother. Oh, it's over, dude. I'm doing some world domination shit. No, I'm at least, like, getting, like, 10K subs, though. Like, if I did that, though, like, I took 4 to 6 hours, and then I took the additional, like, 2 to 4 hours that I'll spend a day on YouTube videos whenever I'm not doing, like, freelance gigs. Oh, yeah, it's over. World domination type shit. No, but, like, at least, like, 10K subs. And, like that amount of time. Which probably goes a little bit farther than Twitch. Anyways, basically, like if I'd done YouTube as much as I've done Twitch streaming over the last 4 years, it would be more successful and I would have more skills than Twitch streaming. But I've enjoyed Twitch streaming. Twitch streaming has made me insanely happy, and I love being on stream and talking to chat and doing that shit. So that's why I'll probably forever at least try and do Twitch streaming as long as people are here to talk to and hang out with, you know? Even if it's like 2 hours a day, if I really get locked in on YouTube.
Then she shows text where he calls her an idiot, saying that Logan Paul was shit. We were all shit, but we learned, because she says that she doesn't think she's good enough to do content creation. Then he tells her to kill herself.
What? What?
Just told you how to make 6 figures. Fuck off. It's annoying. Imagine telling people how to make 6 figures on in 3, and then I can't see the rest here. Alex would tell me he meant it when he said these horrible things to me, but would tell me that he didn't mean it after he'd calmed down.
Yo, can she share this knowledge, though? Chris Koppa Fencart? Okay.
He told me to shut up and kill yourself after I told him it was a dream of mine to expand into other platforms. He also called...
Wait, he told me to shut up and myself after I told him it was my dream to expand into other platforms. What other platforms? Are we talking about Twitch and Instagram, or are we talking about like OnlyFans? Because either way, I could see this guy saying that. Like if she was like, yeah, I want to do like TikTok and Twitch other than YouTube, him being like, shut up, yourself. Or if she's like, I want to start an OnlyFans. Nah, if she said I wanted to start an OnlyFans with this guy would be like, how could you betray me? Oh my God.
Called me the N-word after I said sorry about this situation. I said sorry for telling him my goals and dreams, and he belittled them, all while trying to take control of what I wanted to do. When I got sad, he got angry. You could have listened to a master plan for free, he said. And then she just shows a bunch of messages that she sent to him where she's talking about how much she loves him and misses him, and that she canceled plans to hang out.
Yo, what's up, Goofy? Oh, how's it going? Boy kisser? I love kissing men.
I guess. And talking about doing her hair. He would tell me to die constantly, told me that he didn't want me and that he could easily replace me. At this point in time, I have broken down to his level. I end up calling him what he is, and I lose all sense of reality. Because how can this be real? This can't be real. He can't mean any of this and still love bomb me and stay with me, right? At this point, I'm also scared of starting any argument, so I say sorry excessively. After telling me he isn't mad anymore, he ends up telling me we're over and starting shit over again. Again, after another argument about content creation, he goes, it's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about this when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. I would reply by telling,
oh, dude, this shit, yeah, it's crazy, bro. It is crazy, dude. Yeah, we're doing a little drama reaction. We were talking about Kick earlier and stuff, and now we're doing this. He would actually tweak out more than he already is if she said she wanted to do OF. He's out of pocket for talking to her like that. Yeah, dude, it's insane. I think it's even more crazy from what I saw on Twitter. Like the little bit that I saw, yeah. All right, let me back up here a little bit.
Shit over again. Again, after another argument about content creation, he goes, it's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about this when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. I would reply by telling him he was rude and that I got offended. He goes on to say, N-word, that's the truth, and kill yourself. I told you to make 6 figures like who you read earlier. I told him how I don't think I'm good enough to do it, and he would just insult me more. You just pass up on genuine knowledge to cry. Then they're just arguing more about YouTube, this looks like. Then
so he just says, gay. Nah, that's crazy, bro. Wait.
More.
You just passed up on genuine knowledge to cry, threatened to break up, and call me a bitch. Gay. Bro. Yo, what's up, Phoenix? Oh, speaking of Kick, did you see Aiden Ross change this streamer with special needs contract? Apparently he guys pay rate to $5 an hour. Dude, I saw that was the Twitch staff, dude. That's what the girl was talking about in the video. Her name's Melissa something. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, bro. It's insane.
About YouTube, this looks like. Then she says, we ended up going on holiday together to Italy in July, and
Urban sounds good, brother. Appreciate you.
An argument came about when he was watching a video about a girl being hypersexual after trauma. I opened up to him about my essay and the trauma that I have been through myself. In response to this, he tells me he doesn't want to know what has been done to me by other guys.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks! What the fuck? Oh, you bought a PlayStation Portable today. Nice, dude. Sorry, such a crazy contrast. What the fuck? This is my traumatic experience. This is how it's altered me, and I just wanted to tell you because I trust you. Yeah, mate. I don't want to hear that. Sorry, that's Aussie. Well, bruv, I don't want to hear that. Nah, it's still Aussie. Fuck, dude.
And I ended up leaving into another room crying. He threatened to leave and get a flight back on his own, taking into account this was only the third time abroad, and he knew it would make me very upset and scared. Like he knew I needed him there with me.
What? Bro, why? What is wrong with this guy? Why can't anyone show emotions around him? They got the same accent? That's what I'm saying, King. Fuck. Wait, who is this about? This is about ImAllexx. I personally, I don't know how you stayed with him longer than 5 seconds. I would have blocked and exposed ASAP. I feel bad for her. This is so fucked up. Yeah, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking about this the other day. I think some people stay in relationships. Trigger warning. I think some people stay in relationships as like a form of self-harm sometimes. Because they think that they like really don't deserve better, and this is what they deserve is like horrible relationship. And it sounds like this girl has had a lot of problems in the past, and that's probably like a similar situation here. Like she felt like she didn't deserve better, and this is almost what she deserves to be with somebody like this, especially with somebody that sounds like caring like this person. And then also, ImAllexx keeps being like, "I'm sorry, I love you, I'm so sorry." You know, and like trying to like make it up to her and like love bombing her. Like, yeah.
Speaking of weird shit on our first holiday, you ruin every moment. I have no fond memories with you. I spoke about something I went through in the trauma, opening up to him about my experience with SA, and this is how he responded. Which, holy fucking shit. You're weird, yep, it's you. Bringing up weird shit on our holiday, you ruin every moment. Was you too. I have no fond memories with you, like actually none. What's the point of this, saying all this? What are you getting at? Just moments when you're not being a huge, maybe the B word. And of course, you don't really have proof that
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think Chucky said earlier, I can't wait to see ImAllexx fans try and defend us. I think there will be some, but he's not like, I feel like his audience is less easily weaponized than the Minecraft community. the Minecrafters have they can weaponize their communities like no other, bro. Commentary community, you know, like if they have even like a slightly like close to like, okay, maybe this is valid in some different dimension, then like, yeah, but the Minecraft community can just be like, oh yeah, they're lying about me, so like tell them to uh-oh themselves. Not straight up, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. Dude, the amount of people that still love the Dream SMP is crazy. Yeah, bro, it is crazy. I mean, I understand that, yeah, Wilbur fans is basically what I'm talking about. I'm mainly talking about Wilbur fans. You know, if people really want to, like, stand 10 toes tall on George, then, like, you know, do your fucking thing. Oh, my God, the spider's on my desk! Hey, Spidey, man, listen, I'm going to need you to not do that, brother, okay? Oh, my God. Sorry, YouTube frogs, that this video isn't cut up well and you have to watch me fight a spider off. You know, fucking to each their own. Again, I think there was just validity in the fact that Katie in that situation didn't want to name drop in the first place, and it was Twitter freaks that did that. But yeah, Wilbur specifically, like he even didn't even like really try and defend himself or weaponize his like viewership, and there was a crazy cult of people being like, actually, Shelby was the one abusing him. Everyone was like, what? At least that's my reaction to it. There was your hydrate or dihydrate.
What are you getting at?
My bad, dude. That was so cringe of me to say hydrate or dihydrate.
Just moments when you're not being a huge, maybe the B word. And of
I'm
course,
sorry,
you don't really
Chucky.
have proof that necessarily this is what she said to him in this moment. She's alleging that this is the weird shit that she is bringing up, according to Alex, which if so, that's obviously fucking terrible and disgusting. And Alex should be ashamed of himself. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Making it her problem when she tells you about something terrible that happened to her. Just like one of the worst things you can ever do to another human being. Like, that's actually just disgusting. But she continues saying he ended up canceling coming to see me on my birthday, or forgot it, and went to see Star Wars with his friends instead of seeing me.
What?
When I told him it was my birthday, he ended up going out after the movie to grab a gift and eventually came to my place at midnight. I spent the whole day waiting for him. He invalidates my feelings after I said I got upset about it. Try to justify it by hanging out properly before my birthday came, where she shows text where he says, let's hang out today. I'd love to. I can only come over super late on Monday, by the way. How come Star Wars events at 7? Which, to be honest, this is not even that bad of an allegation compared to everything else so far. He clarifies what seems to be days prior, saying that he can't hang out until late in the evening and that he wants to hang out properly before your birthday. If there's other plans that happen to fall and he wants to work around that, this isn't really abusive. I mean, that's just a cope. Other stuff around this might be, sure, but this is standalone. This is literally nothing. This means nothing to me. She continues.
I think in context of the whole situation, I think it's just like a bad look for him. Like, it's just him being kind of a dickhead. I don't know. A lot of people feel a lot of different ways about birthdays. I personally love birthdays and try and hold people's birthdays like as a, whatever. Like, that's why I would play games on people's birthdays with them and shit. Like, so I understand her being sad about it, but also him like yelling at her about her getting upset about it. I think it's where she's trying to pull a point here. Yeah, also, you cancel seeing your girlfriend to go see Star Wars with the boys. Like, brother, really? You could move that around another day, possibly?
Continues in her statement, at this time.
Listen, I love Jake, Cam, and Nico and the rest of the squad. If that squad is going out to see Star Wars on Chucky's birthday, I'm going to go, oh, sorry, guys. Can't go see Star Wars today. Sorry, guys. Can't see Star Wars today. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend. It's her birthday. And they're going to be like, oh, word. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, babe. Got to go see Star Wars with the boys. Unless the entire cast of Star Wars is there, then I don't see a reason to not be there for her. Yeah, exactly. Yo, let's go, Purple. I'm glad the DLC is good so far.
He was looking to move house and I helped him. He assumed I was going to move in with him without asking me beforehand. I was brave enough to tell him I'm scared to move in with you because of how you treated and insulted me.
That's fair, bro.
And begged him to stop doing it, and then he had to change, and I ended up calling him what he is and standing up for myself. No, it isn't pretty. Which then she shows the message that she meant earlier where she talked about how her feelings are wank or whatever. ImAllexx called them wank, which is really strange to say to someone that you're in a relationship with. But regardless, he says that you're a dumb woman. Move on.
What? That you were being a dumb woman. Yo. No, I didn't skip Star Wars on your birthday. I'm saying I would, though.
Be useful. And then she kind of goes in on him saying, stop moaning, sort your head out. You're a cunt who does this. You're a child. While he just rambles and says stupid shit like die in a hole, you sad cunt. Like they're just arguing with each other back and forth. Obviously, he's having some kind of strange BPD mental breakdown over this argument. And then she says,
has she said that he has BPD or anything like that? Like, is this confirmed? Has he said he has BPD?
Likewise, you sold me a dream. Then I saw how much of a loser cunts you were.
Oh, shit!
To everyone around you, including me. Then he says, I'll be fine without you. You are nothing without me. And she responds, lol, wow, how controlling and toxic and grim. Just continuing to berate him for being abusive, which she's saying this happened after just a long time of him being an asshole to her, I guess. And it's interesting because these are two messages that are obviously a separate time apart. And we can tell because he was under the name Munkus here and then he's under the name Fruit. They almost look like they're trying to be posted back to back, but this isn't just one instance of her finally giving up and being mean back to him when he's obviously being a total dick to her. But this seems to be multiple instances of it, which doesn't necessarily mean that she is also just as equally guilty, but this isn't just like a one-time, like I stood up for myself thing. Clearly, this is multiple different instances where she's telling him to fuck off and how he's abusive and cunty, and then all what these messages show.
Yo, Mr. EXS. I don't think the word cunty. I don't think you're using it in the proper context according to Zoomerism. Wait, why are we yelling at me? Are we yelling at me right now, or are we yelling at ImAllexx? What are we yelling about, chat?
He proceeds to tell me to die in a hole, you said, cunt. After all I said was asked for was reassurance, then reads the text messages off. I called him abusive, and then he tells me to melt. I told him I was going to bed, having not had any previous argument, and this started a clash because I said it in a bad tone. He goes, I'm going to fucking kill you, and I'm going to break your neck. Then she shows the messages how this happened, where she says, "You're insulting me constantly, dumbass, get a head check." And then I admitted what I did, and he says, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to break your neck." Again, this is over my tone being low because I was previously already sad. I had apologized over call and it wasn't enough. Then here she alleges physical abuse, where she says, "We had one of the worst arguments I've ever experienced with anyone, but after the move, it became even worse. On the 4th day of living together on the 19th of October, he had taken it to the next level and got physical in a fight. It started as a screaming argument where I begged him to leave me alone and to just stop. I ended up trying to get away from him and he followed me. I went to walk downstairs and he grabbed my hood and pulled me back until I fell on the floor.
What?
He told me that I'm not getting away, so I got up and made a run for the bathroom. He gets in my way and grabs me, puts me in a headlock, and covers my mouth because I'm screaming for him to get off of me. I got to the bathroom and locked it behind me, and he screams for the other side, calling me crazy, telling me to leave the house after I've asked him to leave me alone." Then she shows messages with her and her mom's asking her how things are, and she basically recalls this story to her mom. That's kind of what this looks like. And then she says in this text message with her mom that he is Satan, that he broke her glasses and hid them, and her mom says that's psycho. And then she says, "He will gaslight until I react. When I do, he will call me crazy like he didn't just scream in my face for an hour." Then she shows messages with her dad where he says that he's not happy about her taking this shit, and that she doesn't know anyone anything, and that if this actually has happened, he'll have a fun video to defend himself against, and that she needs to get out, according to her dad. Some other days after that arguments, he would scream in my face, telling me to kill myself multiple times, and arguments over small things. He would walk away, then come back angry as if he couldn't leave without screaming, having me back down and be silent until I broke down. This evolved to the point where I would be shaking and scared for my life every time he came close or was in the same room as me whilst arguing. He still blamed me for our arguments, and to get back at me, he started with small petty things like breaking my glasses without me knowing and throwing them away in the trash. He even helped me go look for them, pretending he was innocent, until I finally suspected he did indeed throw them away, and he laughed whilst admitting doing so, acting like it wasn't a big deal. I ended up
Is this guy just a Disney villain? What the fuck?
feeling detached from reality because I woke up depressed daily. Some days I didn't want to be near him or be intimate with him, and this would spark arguments, and he would get angry at me for still being upset over something he had done a day or a few days before. I was so disgusted by him and his actions towards me. I didn't want him to even be near my own cat, calling him his when he wasn't, and making shitty jokes about taking the cat away from me. This would always just end up in me picking up Bear and leaving my room, which I assume is her cat's name. He ended up being secretive over his phone, so what I then discovered was him stalking his ex on all social platforms. It had been years since they broke up, and found her old NSFW pictures he kept of her. He said sorry and that was it, which, holy fucking shit, that's absolutely nasty. What the fuck? For years you're holding on to that shit? Then she's saying, "I don't trust you, weird as shit."
I'm gonna hit him with the Drewski meme. Ain't that hard to hit the delete button. It ain't that hard, brother. It ain't that hard, brother. Delete button right there. Always, brother. Okay? Whenever you're looking at a photo or video, it's right there. It ain't that hard, brother.
He says, why are you being so secretive? Why won't you let me look? The 20th of December was the day I decided to no longer put up with his behavior. I was getting the house ready for his parents to come over for dinner, as Alex did not clean or prepare anything. He must have thought I was angry at him because as I'm cleaning the kitchen, he was constantly asking me if anything was wrong. I tell him multiple times I'm fine and nothing is wrong, I just want to clean. He started shouting, getting hysterical, thinking I'm lying, and then I'm pissed off. I say very few words due to the fact that I'm totally mentally drained. I had nothing left in me when we had these arguments. I barely said anything. He asked for tasks he'd do to help me in panic. I tell him to wipe the sides of the kitchen counters, take out the bins. He starts screaming after I gave him more than one task, telling me he can't handle more than one at a time. So after he overreacts, I start to walk away. On my way out of the kitchen, he kicks me in the back, and I turn and say nothing. Then she shows text messages where I guess this is after this happened, where she's talking that she forgives the abuse, and then mentioning that he kicked her. He says she's a psychotic freak. You actually think what you did in the kitchen is normal. After yesterday, you pulled the same shit. You kicked me, I told you not to, woman. You freaked out. Answer the fucking question. You're mental, trying to convince yourself.
Dude, I'm with Alice's mom, bro. What is this, 1934? Why is he like, I need you to need me? Now come here, I'm gonna kick you. Like, what the fuck?
If it wasn't you, bye. You ever talk about me again? And in her statement, she actually attached a video of him following her around after he allegedly kicked her. It's a 5-minute video. I'm just gonna let that play uninterrupted. So let's watch that.
Over what? I don't understand. Because you ain't got anything to fucking be stuck up over. But for some reason, something isn't good enough for you. You get to do whatever you fucking want all day. It's like, and then you look like a fucking miserable fucking little cunt all the time. Like, your face is annoying to look at, like, when I come downstairs.
What?
Like, I'm actually fed up of looking at you. Which is why I sleep downstairs, because I don't want to have to go upstairs and, oh, you're taking all the covers. It's like, fucking woman, just like, fucking ask me to buy another one, or stop fucking complaining. Like, nothing, the thing is, it annoys me, is nothing needs to be an argument, because everything is fixable. Buy a new duvet, I sleep downstairs. But no, you've always got to act like none of this stuff, because you don't actually try and fix any of your fucking problems. Like, it's infuriating at this point. Like earlier, you're miserable about something. All you have to do is say what it is and it's fixed. It's fine. You don't have to, like, you don't clean up after yourself. Nigga, neither did you.
What? What? Brother man, what? Fuck.
Fine. You don't have to, like, you don't clean up after yourself. Nigga, neither did you.
Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! Yo, brother. Yo. This is a end of Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar moment, brother.
So, we're even. It's fine. So why
Sounds just like Limburg saying it. You know, I was thinking the same thing actually.
about it? I didn't go around fucking complaining about everything that you don't clean up after. Why? Because you don't look that in your fucking little small brain. You're not even honest to pay for any of it. So, who really fucking cares what you have to say? And what does it even fucking matter? If you want to clean up, I'll fucking hire one. It's my money. But this is the thing, even right now, you just ignore all of that. I'm giving you options for everything, you just ignore everything. You're not actually trying to sort out any of these problems. And if you've got a problem with bins, man, why don't you fucking call them? Why does it have to be me? You can fucking call people, you can get it sorted, you can take them out if you want to. But no, because Alice doesn't actually fucking do anything. I'm trying to fucking, right now, I'm spending pretty much fucking every single day trying to figure out where fucking 75,000 fucking pounds has gone. And whether I'm ever going to get it. And then any of my future YouTube revenue. Because the company's holding my channel fucking hostage. So yeah, sorry I forget about to fucking clean the side sometimes. I got bigger fish to fry. And I still have to post.
Go away.
You just don't think about any of that.
Go away.
Such a fucking woman.
Go away.
What? What? There's no way he said, you're such a fucking woman. Yo, now he sounded like Potassium, dude. He sounded like the whole squad now. Yo, what?
So are you.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Do not make 1934 British man angry by calling him a woman. She just called him a boy girl. Uh-oh.
Huh?
So are you.
Yeah, dude, he's just been going on.
It's like 7 times
Then you could have
earlier.
stopped. It was you. It was all you.
I tried to stop
Go
it.
away.
I did try to
Go
stop
away.
it.
Go away. Just go away.
Infuriating.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, what is the point of acting like this?
Like, if you had to do half the shit I had to do, you would understand why loads of stuff doesn't get done.
What?
You don't even know the fucking
Go away. Just go away.
You upload one
Go away.
half-assed
Go
video
away.
every 3
Go
weeks.
away.
And it does
Go
terribly.
away.
I wonder what his parents are like. I was literally thinking that. Like, I wonder if his parents were like this, maybe, but even still, bro. Like, my parents used to argue a lot too and didn't have a healthy relationship, but like, I'm not a piece of shit because of it.
Go away. Go away.
But I slept up here because you made me. I wanted to sleep downstairs so I could fucking actually wake up on time today.
I didn't make you.
Yes, you did.
No.
You were throwing a fucking fit.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Well, you can stop this right now.
Yeah, shut up. You're following me and going on. Fuck off. Please.
My mom and dad would scream at each other whenever my dad would drop me off. It was outrageous. I'm sorry you had to go through that, bro. It sounds like me and you are in the same boat, that we like both learned from that shit and didn't let that like make us into those people, you know? It's making me mad, dude. It's just like talking to my ex, like, bro, get the fuck away from her. Shut up and leave. Yeah. My parents are the worst people together, to the point I had to get between them, and like they should have divorced hella, and I would never be that way with anyone, and that's why things scare me. If they so much as act away in a relationship like my parents, I can't do it. That's fair. No, that's fair. It's mind-blowing that people can treat someone that they apparently care like this. Yeah, dude.
So at this point, Alex definitely seems like a totally abusive, BPD-ridden nutcase. I don't know what he's referencing here when he says what you did in the kitchen was normal. It could be what she's saying. Maybe it's something else. Maybe she was doing stuff to him. You know, I have no idea. But based on what we see right now, this guy obviously does have problems just on the way that he interacts with her, because these meltdowns are just absolutely ridiculous. Then she says, at this point, it was the second time he heard me and I was scared, so I texted my friend to pick me up and I started packing. He follows me around the house screaming random things at me, trying to justify his actions for going too far. I recorded this because I was scared he would hit me again. I say nothing and I'm panicking to the point where I'm sweating from fear as he is following me and screaming at me, calling me the N-word and useless, etc. After I left, I later picked up my things after he threatened to throw them outside, which is a $4,000 setup. I found everything on the floor and taken apart. The keyboard was smashed and scattered everywhere. He claimed the keys had fallen off my keyboard when he was packing it all away. When I got home and unplugged everything in, I found the monitor screens are both smashed to bits, the keyboard broken, and the camera too, showing now pictures of her destroyed monitors that allegedly Alex did. She says, after I ended the relationship, he tried to manipulate me, telling me that we just need time and that he will change, and begged me to give him a chance to change and make things better. This went on for months. He kept doing this and getting angry when I didn't give back the same energy. Of course I didn't, because I come to the realization that I was abused, lost, and had no idea what to do at the time. He started doing little things he knew would get my attention in an attempt to spark any conversation, like following my exes or people we argued about, girls he slept with and kept pictures of. Started trying to get me back into the house, telling me he's put the bins out and asking me to come over for dinner. He ended up arguing with me over situations that, with me not wanting to give him time or attention. Of course I don't. I left him. He abused me. He couldn't accept this. I ended up blocking him and he finds another social platform to message me on and argue. I blocked him again, so he ended up messaging all of my accounts, including the account I made for my cat Bear, asking and begging for a phone call so he can move on. After everything he did, he still was thinking about himself and how he could make it better for him. I kept telling him that I didn't want to call or meet him. Then she shows text where he says, "You're just going to ignore me." She responds, "Leave me alone." "Okay, fuck off, you annoying cunt."
I don't deal with arguing in my relationships or even entertain yelling at people. It's you nowhere when everyone is talking and no one is listening. Absolutely, bro. Care about? I mean, yeah, I got you. I'm always curious as to why when wait, I'm gonna fuck up that. People get upset. They love using the N-word. I'm black, so I can ask that question. Allegedly, boy, at this point, really? Wait, boy, at this point, it really. What a loser. Yeah. Just saying on a normal basis. Yeah. I think he has to say allegedly so they don't strike his video for defamation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. ImAllexx definitely says it. If he's okay saying it in this scenario, yeah. Ain't no way he hit her with a "Are you up?" text. That's wild.
Fuck you, stop agitating me, and then just paragraphs of him just, I'm so sorry, I missed you, oh my god, I'm apologizing again. I'll do everything I can to get you back starting today. I want everything to be normal. What do I do then? Stop being mean. Okay, I'm sorry. Can we call just 5 minutes? Apology, then I'll go. Okay, I'll stop texting and give you space. I fucked this. Good morning. Have a good day. I miss you so much. The house is all clean. I just put the bins out. Sweating emoji. She says, that isn't hot. It's basic living, kid. And more text where he just says that he wants to have a proper ending to the relationship.
She hit him with the sure, bud.
Where she says, I'm so serious. Do you know what you put me through? I know you know. I know you know how fucking messed up this is. And he says, yes, I know more than anything. You fucking know you're sick and you're saying I did the same. Then he says, but I thought I would have a chance at talking to you and saying sorry, and I really don't want to have that taken away. She says, thanks for the sorry. I don't forgive you. He says, I don't want to beg for you back. I want to call and say sorry. I'm asking you to forgive me. And then she says, I don't owe you that time. And he says, I just wanted to apologize to you like real people who were together for nearly a year, saying that it's hard for him to just cut off completely. Then she says, you just kept doing it and got worse until it got domestic and serious and you're saying we're even. Then he says, I got worse because I'm self-destructive. Eventually he tells me I deserve better and gets all sorry for himself after he realizes I'm actually not coming back. He sends me apologies and owes up to everything that he's ever done to move to me in voice notes and videos, crying while still begging for a phone call so we can talk or move on. I don't and won't ever want to give him that. After I explained to him he was abusive, he claimed that I was abusive too to try and spark a reaction, as afterwards he said, I'm joking and I didn't mean it like that. You didn't wrong me like I did you. I know that. He continuously begs me to call so he can apologize. I wanted to forgive him. He ended up sending things to my house like teddy bears and flowers, his hoodie that had been sprayed heavily with his aftershave, and a letter to try and achieve this. He mentions, I wish you had broken up with me to my face. I did, when I walked out the doors with my things after he kicked me. Then showing that he is trying to message her on other accounts, I guess, and just more messages saying the same thing here, and more messages of them fighting and that he wants to talk, and then she's like, fuck you, like stalk me like you stalk your ex or whatever, I don't know. She's just being kind of a dick back to him, but I mean at this point it seems to be deserved from what she's alleging. Then she sends this long ass message just basically saying like, I've blocked you, like you do crazy shit, like you're an abuser, fuck you. And he sends a 30-minute voice message back
Bro.
And I don't know if this is the exact same message, but she did attach a message titled "It Wasn't Your Fault," WAV, where Alex then is like crying about the relationship, it seems like. And so I'm just going to play that for you guys in its entirety. If you don't want to listen to it or you want to skip ahead, the timestamp is on screen to reading the document.
Holy
but this is the "It Wasn't Your Fault" message that she attached in her statement.
Sorry, my phone cut off. It wasn't acceptable behaviour, like in any way, shape or form.
Do we want this at like 1.5 speed chat? I turned in this, the way he talks is so scary because it's like word for word shit my ex would say. Do these motherfuckers go to like a boot camp for how to gaslight motherfuckers, or like what's up with that shit? All right, yeah, we put this. I'm gonna put this at 1.5. See if we can catch all this, or if it's too fast.
It was insane. Like I guess I've just been stuck in that cycle for so long that I felt like I could do no wrong. I felt like I was the fucking, oh, look at me, I do all this fucking work and I do everything and I try and do this and, just nobody's appreciative and, I know you appreciated it and I know that you appreciate the effort that I used to put in. And then I just stopped because I had you and you're my girlfriend and we lived together, and the more further we got through our relationship, the less effort I put in. And if it wasn't for you leaving, I might never, ever have changed my ways. I might have just continued on like that. At the end of the day, the only thing that's important is that I didn't listen to you. You were right. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. I was impossible to work with. I didn't make it easy. I constantly thought inwards about myself and not about you and what was going on. I didn't make any attempts to change. I didn't make any attempts to fix my life. I made excuses. And it got to the point where I wanted to be alone, because if I was alone, nobody could tell me that I was fucking up and I was doing anything wrong. And for the first week that you weren't here, I just spent the entire week.
So lack of accountability and lack of self-awareness. Damn, bro. I'm really starting to see a pattern with a lot of people, bro. There is a huge pattern with lack of self-awareness and a lack of accountability. Holy shit.
Doing nothing. And after that week, I realized just kind of like how fucked up my life was, and I have made attempts to try and fix it. You know, I have a schedule, I take out the bins, I look after the cats. You know, I'm like a functioning person. I go out for my bike ride. I've been sorting out my doctor's appointment, even though it's bloody hard in the middle of fucking nowhere. I am just like so frustrated because I've been doing all of that, but then I've been getting on with you, and instead of like apologizing, I've been trying to just be like, oh no, look, I'm good now, like I'm perfectly fine now. I'm like a person. Everything's great, and I realize that must come across as like so dismissive to you, or also like why is he doing that stuff now? Why is he being like this now? Why couldn't he have been like this back then? And then you get upset or angry, which is fine and understandable, or I do something to upset and anger you, like following some fucking idiot on Twitter or Instagram, some woman. And,
Dude. What for? Some woman?
Yeah, you must think like, oh, this guy's like, he's just a fucking cunt. And he's being a cunt, and he's not stopping being a cunt, and he's not gonna apologise for what he did, he's not gonna try and make it work with me. He just kind of wants me to be here. He doesn't want to lose me. I was trying to be like, too cool and nonchalant at points, and then I would let it slip how uncool and how not well I was taking everything, and by that I mean my behaviour. I haven't been lashing out at you because of the fact that you left me. I've been lashing out at you because of the fact that I didn't fix my stuff. And I think what's worse, I'm being completely honest here, because I don't want to leave anything off the table at this point, is that, like, I generally had a conversation, like, with my friends a few months ago just about, like, how much I feel like, you know, I've just, like, I don't feel good about myself, and I would wake up a lot of the times when I was with you, and I think I knew that I didn't deserve to still be with you, and instead of fixing it, I was just like, oh, I've already fucked it anyway. I became worse. Like I sabotaged it, and it was intentional because I knew that I was being shitty, and I just thought, oh, it's already too late, and it's really fucking piss poor. Now, obviously, it wasn't as clean cut as that. A lot of this stuff has been really complicated to work out, you know, because I blow hot and cold. You've seen me. I'm apologising 1 minute, shouting the next, angry 1 minute, please come here, hold me. You know, it's like, I just feel like I've been really battling through this very weird thing. Also, you know, with issues we'd have, you did this. Oh, wait, no, I see you didn't. It's okay, don't worry about it, forget about it. But it doesn't matter. I opened up a wound, and it scars. And the scar is always there.
Bro, the thing that really pisses me off about people in his position where he has money and he realizes that he's like a piece of shit or he's doing something wrong. Brother, you have the money and the resources to go get help. You have the ability to go do that, brother. What the fuck? Bro, you apparently know how to make 6 figures a year with your YouTube channel. Okay, take some of that goddamn money and fucking get therapy, bitch ass. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gay. That's why this shit threw me off. This is like Justin Timberlake and his DUI. How? When you have all this cash, no excuse? Yeah, that's real.
Just because I feel okay about it now doesn't mean that you did. And when I used to say stuff about, like, why can't we just move on? It's because I felt like I felt like I was comfortable.
I'm playing the world's smallest violin.
And I didn't make the effort to see if you were. And if you weren't, because I was, I didn't understand why you couldn't be. No, I don't really know what that is. But I know that...
It would be really fucked for me to say, I wish that he had been dating a man so that maybe that dude would have kicked him back. That'd be fucked up for me to say, right?
It's wrong. And I know that I knew of it. And to be honest, I thought that at a certain point, when I was sleeping on the sofa and stuff, I convinced myself that that's what you wanted. You obviously didn't. So I'm not saying you wanted it and I did it. As in, I convinced myself because I was making an excuse for myself. Not as in, I was doing it for you. I don't mean if I say anything along those lines, that's not how I mean it. I wasn't doing it for you, I was doing it for me. It was easier to avoid you. I wasn't putting the effort in. Because you obviously had said, like you have on this, like, give me time to come back, talk.
Yeah, he just kicked his... Yeah, he kicked his girlfriend. Like, what the hell?
I need time to process stuff. And I wasn't doing it. And then I started doing it almost out of spite. Like, I started doing it being like, oh, yeah, well, I'm sleeping on the sofa now. Isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted me to go away? Because I'm such a fuck up? It was like self-pitying, self-absorbed bullshit. And, yeah, it's just really, like, fucked up thing to do to you at the end of the relationship. So I know why you left, because at that point, there was, like, no love. At least I wasn't showing it anyway. A kiss when you're playing League probably was more annoying than anything, because you know I was probably doing it to avoid our problems. You know, I got too reliant on you putting me in my place, and then you forgiving me. Like, it just became a cycle. I allowed you to be the fixer-upper of our relationship, and it wasn't right, you know?
Urban, welcome back, brother. Sorry your sleep schedule's fucked, bro. I feel you.
And then I made everything worse. There's so much more I could go into detail about, talk about, I don't know. Really, like, there's a lot. It's sometimes, like, hard to keep on track, and, you know, but I feel like...
Emerald, what's up?
Right, like, you know, that's something that I wanted to say on top of everything. I just want to make it really clear that, like, it's like it was me. And anything that I said before in any argument, I have looked back at all of them. I went back and read them. I read old iMessages from us from the beginning of the last year. I could see how I caused everything.
On God, Goofy, on
Jealous about playing
God.
games with your friends because I wanted you to dedicate your life to me.
Huh? What are you, Jesus Christ? Huh? I wanted you to dedicate your life to me. Brother, what?
Jealous about you playing games with your friends because I wanted you to dedicate your life to me. You know, not in a fucking weird way. I just, like, I wanted to run off into the sunset with you. I was madly in love. But probably, you know, I had, oh, fuck, my toe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking hell. I was madly in love, and I wanted to just fucking keep you as my own. I didn't want anybody else to have your time or anything. And, yeah, it's fucked up because, like, now I understand it. Like, when I started playing games with my mates, I didn't have, at the time I was just working, like, I was jealous of what you had, and I wanted to be involved because my friends had stopped playing games ages ago. Like, they didn't really talk, like, everybody had moved away. Like, at the time we met, the only thing I had going was making YouTube videos and you. And, you know, that's why for the first, like, 3-4 months, like, I was just, like, constantly obsessed. And then I did try to make it more healthy. That's why I started playing games with my friends. But even then, like, I started to do that at the point where I should have been giving you more attention. Like, I was doing everything in the wrong order. And for the wrong reasons. And I am deeply sorry for that. And I just wanted to make that clear that I can see every single direction where I went wrong. And obviously there's more stuff that upset you.
On God, Chucky.
You know, and...
Is this him talking? Yeah, this is ImAllexx. Yeah.
You know, my behavior recently, like, after that, you know, that's just a horrible misplace of my own ego. Like...
Yeah, he's not, like... This isn't, like, real crying. He's not, like, sobbing.
I have wanted you to run back to me, and I wanted you to, you know, be forgiving. I wanted you to just kind of go, yeah, that's good enough, Alex, you've tried, or we'll work on it. And you did do that. It's the worst part, is you did do that. And at the time, I wanted so much more. I was, like, so desperate for you to just, like, fucking come back home. But anything else that wasn't that just made me so frustrated because, you know, I felt like it was slipping away, but not just that. I felt like, you know, I even said to you, like, I'm worried that I haven't got to a place. I was still being vicious and lashing out at you and being angry. But I was, like, using it as, like, an excuse to fucking do it. Being like, look, I might do it. Like, it was like, it was blackmail. Like, I was being like, you should call me, because if you don't call me, you're going to lose the apology. I'm going to be all angry. And it's because I couldn't control my emotions at all. And I wasn't trying to. I wanted to. I felt like anytime you pulled away, I wanted to just burn everything down. That was just where my brain went to. Just fuck everything. Yeah, obviously, I'm not at that place anymore. But I was for like 4 fucking months, so that's way too long. Obviously, there are points where I was...
He kicked her in the back.
doing better, but
This is an Instagram voice memo, by the way, because she's blocked him on everything else.
wanted you to move at my pace. And obviously, I was sprinting because I did know the damage I'd done. So I was trying to push you too fast and further than you wanted by showering you in gifts and sending you messages and trying to...
If you're gonna be two-faced, you could at least make one of them pretty. Crazy.
call you and being like, let's meet up and all of that. I should have done it all in the first week. I'm really deeply sorry that it took me this long to really reflect properly on everything. I was still victimizing myself, and it was wrong of me. and I should not have made that even more of an issue for you. Just really, I really wasn't responsible. I wasn't being responsible, I mean. Because I was responsible, but I wasn't being responsible for your feelings. And, you know, I can't believe that I was,
Evo, that's crazy.
how I was thinking. Oh, sorry, but this is super long on top of everything I've already sent you. I'll cut it here and wait for you to respond, and then, you know, maybe I'll send more or whatever. I just want you to know that it's not your fault. It's not your, and it wasn't your responsibility to fix me, and it wasn't your responsibility. Like, I only came to this conclusion because I had to do it myself. Like, I had to go through this to get to this point, to figure this out.
Yeah,
You didn't have to.
I had to kick you and gaslight you and everything so that I could get to this point.
You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to have this happen. I should have done this at my own time,
Oh, okay.
on my own accord.
All right, good.
But I chose to bury my issues before fixing them. But it's not you.
At least you're deflecting some of the blame when you're gaslighting now.
It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Like,
God,
you're not responsible for this. You're not responsible for what happened. You tried your best. It's nothing to do with you. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're lesser or because you have issues. It's not because of that. Like, you were fine. It's not because you... It's not because of you. It's nothing to do with you. You were so open with me about so many things. I knew how you felt about all the stuff that I used to make excuses as to why I was feeling that way. Sorry. Like, I knew how you felt about everything. We spoke about everything. We covered everything. We buried everything. We'd have conversations about everything. It took me to meet your friends to stop being a fucking bitch about them. That's not acceptable. You shouldn't have been a bitch about them in the first place. They were lovely people. I trusted them. Obviously, the recent stuff was kind of sucked, but that wasn't your fault. And, you know, you did actually tell me, and you were upfront and honest about it, which is more than I could say for how I've been. And instead, I used that to call you a liar. So I understand why you, you know, I understand it's my fault why we have a lot of all of the issues. Sorry, not a lot. I'm not trying to let myself get off the hook. All of them. And with work and stuff, I know that you're just trying to enjoy
God,
it.
Greenish.
And I was making it unenjoyable for you because I wasn't having fun. So I believe that everybody else shouldn't have fun and that you shouldn't have fun. And that I convinced myself that life is miserable and life is fucking putting up with stuff. And, you know, I just remember moments with you where I was my happiest. And
I just remember moments of you when I was my happiest. And then I kicked the shit out of you and broke your glasses and threw them in the garbage. Oh.
you know, sat in your bedroom, just me and you, just lying there together. And, you know, it should have been that all the time. And when we got bare, or you got bare, sorry, still doing it, you know, just how happy I was
Dude.
for you, because I thought it would help you heal. But I was right there just making stuff worse. I made them, you know, even your relationship with the cat, like, I was upsetting you. Because
You cannot be a man crying to the hose, dog. That does not get them moist. Hey, bro, no crying to the hose, bro. You is not getting that thing wet, okay?
I was being selfish and being like, why doesn't she, you know, I was like, why doesn't she want to share the cat with me? And it's because of the way that I was acting. And I knew that, by the way. It's not, I didn't just figure that out. Like, I knew that back then. I was like, of course she's going to take the cat away from me. I'm being a dick. Why would she want a cat near me? She doesn't want the cat to be attached to me because she probably wants to leave. And I felt that at the time, and instead of doing anything about it, I just fucking moped and sulked like a fucking child. I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm just really angry at myself.
He hasn't said anything about that. He hasn't said anything about kicking her. He hasn't done shit about that. He's like, well, it's emotionally, whatever.
You were the best. And I was there fucking, oh God. But you were, you know. And even all the way back to when you said that stuff about the bipolar disorder. And I was mean. I read that text the other day, and I'm so angry. Like, why was I like that to you? I know what I meant at the time, but I was making it about me. And you said that, you knew that. And I did apologise back then. But I didn't change any behaviour. Like, I saw you say that, and I thought, oh, that's an excuse for why she doesn't text me. That's an excuse for why she doesn't want to talk to me. Because I was down your throat. And in reality, you were just trying to say it's not my fault and I'm doing my best. But instead I thought you were using it because I was so convinced myself that like, you were out of my league and that I didn't deserve you. And also that I was going to fuck it up. I convinced myself that you're always looking for a way out, when in reality you just wanted me to be normal.
My FR reaction to ImAllexx crying like a bitch. .wave.
You didn't want my money. You didn't want anything from me apart from me to just be what I could be all the time. And I'm so sorry, Alice. I'm so sorry. I let you down.
Sorry, fuck, bro. I cannot
I
laugh.
don't deserve to be forgiven. I don't deserve anything. I should be held accountable for my mistakes. To you, it was wrong.
History with other men? That's what he said. Sorry, I was so locked in on not laughing. Hold on.
Out. When in reality, you just wanted me to be normal. You didn't want my money. You didn't want anything from me apart from me to just be what I could be all the time. And I'm so sorry, Alice. I'm so sorry. I let you down. And, I don't deserve to be forgiven. I don't deserve anything. I should be held accountable for my mistakes. To you, it was wrong. And I'm sorry, but it's taken you to do everything in your power to really make me understand it. I really held on to the last minute to not do this. Like, I tried my best to avoid this, and I don't know why, because...
He like bussy too? Oh god, that explains why he's crying to the host, SMH. He let us all down. Womp womp.
If I'd have done it, if I'd have actually just truly been like, I fucking suck, I just didn't want to admit it because honestly, I had convinced myself that my ego was the only thing that was keeping me going. I'd convinced myself it was the only reason I was working. I convinced myself it was the only reason why I could get anything done. And that if I didn't have my ego, then I wouldn't be able to work, and I'd give up on everything, and I'd quit. And then, you know, I'd give up on life, and I'd just be this fucking mopey loser. When in reality, I think if I'd just given up on everything, I would have been happy with you. But instead, I convinced myself that this fucking terrible behaviour was powering me like a fucking machine. And I told myself that without it, I would not be able to work and make myself do stuff because I beat myself up all the time to work. I don't do it for fun. I wasn't doing anything out of enjoyment. I was doing it like, I've got to fucking do this. If I don't do this, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to fuck stuff up. I'm going, nobody's going to want to be around me. Nobody's going to be friends with me. But in the process, I was just pushing you away. And like you said it the other day that you'd rather have nothing and be happy than have everything and be miserable. And, I would do anything in the world to have absolutely nothing right now apart from you. I would trade all of this, everything here, because it's worth nothing. It's not worth fucking anything. It's just built on being miserable. You were the only thing I had that I actually enjoyed. And I convinced myself that somehow that loads of it was fake and wrong. And I used it to hurt you. I'm going to leave this here. I don't know what you'll have to say. And I understand. Really, whatever happens, like, I'm not going to hold anything against you. Like, it's not your fault. I don't hold any of it against you. I don't hold anything. I understand. Like, I do.
If the other videos I've seen are post this, oh my god.
And I'm sorry for crying. I just, when I start, I don't open up ever because I have kind of shut all of this stuff down for so long. Like, I hadn't cried in forever. The only time I ever cried is when I apologised to you, and that's because I realised kind of how much I'd fucked stuff up, and seeing you hurt is just the worst. I don't want that. I don't want to see you hurting. I want that less than anything in the world. And I'm sorry for putting you through so much.
Then he says more stuff about how much he wants to change and how desperate and frustrated he is. Then I guess showing pictures to her of them together. This looks like what that is. Saying that he was selfish and just desperate begging continually. Then showing some kind of gift that he sent to her through Amazon, which he says, I'm sorry for upsetting you. I hope that we can talk. And then her calling him an asshole post-breakup and more texts. Then she attaches the note that she got sent by him. I'm not going to read all of it, but basically it's just him apologizing for his shitty behavior. You can pause to read it if you like. And this is a continuation of it where he says that he is not looking for forgiveness, but he really wants to earn her trust back. And again, you can pause it if you would like to read it. Then she attaches what looks like her notes app. I'm not entirely sure.
He needs to cry to himself like a real man. Yo!
after. It seems to
crazy.
just be her tracking stuff that went on during the relationship, like excusing his words and insults. That's what this looks like to me. She's just tracking the relationship maybe as it goes, or maybe she did all this at once, writing down dates like how she said earlier, the day 4 of her moving in together with him, and then 20th of December when she agreed to walk away, and also how she got her glasses broken by him. And then she says, there's so much more I could talk about, but I really don't want to relive any of it longer. This was an awful, toxic relationship. I should have just left 2 months in, knowing and finding out the kind of person he actually is. But that's what happens when a narcissist meets an empath. They feed off of it. I had communicated my best, made him aware of what made me uncomfortable, and it wasn't listened to. In no way am I trying to make myself look as if I never said anything mean. I went through months of this horrible treatment with that words like these became the normal for when arguments came about. Words held no weight towards the end. I stooped down to his level and became reckless with my language to try and prove a point of, this is how you treat me, so I have it back. I was pushed to the point to react, and I'm so sad that I got to that toxic point, but the extent this went with him saying death threats and physical acts was too far. This consisted of a lot of reactive abuse, and I lost myself. I understood he has his own mental health struggles, but it would and will never excuse the amount of trauma he put me through. He went into this with many issues already and projected them all onto me. He knows it amidst this. I want to also mention I know my mouth wasn't clean. I swear for England in every sentence I speak, so I definitely gave it back at times when I got tired and pushed over the edge. I feel it's necessary to add that you can only take so much of someone belittling you and telling you that they don't love you and that they hate you the whole time you're together. When you're meant to be in love, it tears you apart and it changes you. Since all this has happened and public have speculated on their own from my vent posts and interactions, which I want to tell you is a cry for help, not attention, I've had threats of story manipulation from Alex, so I want to clear all of these up before he gets the chance to try and victimize himself and disregard everything he's done to me. I'm not afraid to own up to anything I've done because I only have reacted after the abuse was drilled into me. Then she just continues to show more messages here, where he also then admits to kicking her. I insulted you and I shouldn't have kicked you, trying to pull you towards me in an argument was wrong. You keep saying this like I abuse you. No, I have never actually said you abused me. I said it was toxic, but I understand why I had gotten there. So he does admit to the physical abuse that she alleges. Then she tries to say, I don't want to talk about you hitting me. I found the text about the cat. She says, I didn't hit you. You'd be lying. Then he says, when you said you punched me, I didn't punch you over a cat. Is this saying you're going to use that? Because do it. Then I'll post you calling me N-words and abusing me. He says, no, I'm not. But now you are pushing against me with witnesses why I never punched you over a cat. He says, because you won't stop. I've stayed dead silent and it isn't enough. She says, this is your argument. If I speak about how horrible you are and abusive you was to me, you're going to say I hit you over a cat. That's your defense for abusing me for 8 months. Make it make sense. Then he says, you don't get to hit me at all. The point I'm making is we both hated it. Hated this. Then she says, at this point, he's trying to use the situation with that cat and manipulate the story. I can show what really happened here. He's saying, is that what you want? You didn't tell him what to do. You just said, don't talk to the cat. I'm 24. She says, you say weird shit, like saying weird shit to the cat. And then they're just arguing over this in text. And she says, I told him to stop saying weird things to the cat. He was joking about taking him away, and why would I let someone who told me that they'd break my cat's neck near my cat? This was an argument around mine, so there is no texts. Alleging that at one point in an IRL argument that he said he was going to break her cat's neck, which wouldn't be that out of character from what we've seen from his texts. Then he then goes on to say that I have punched him in the face over the cat. This is the Lulu Island we're on now because he's trying to grab onto anything he can to create his own story. This didn't happen and I couldn't tell you where he cooked this up from. This is from an argument where he was being horrible, had the cat in his arms, and came up to me making jokes about taking him away. Alex was in my face all over me doing this, so I pushed him off of me. I mentioned to him that I didn't find this funny and he carries on. I have the threat messages and the real messages at the time of the events he is trying to manipulate. Then she shows messages where that she got kicked out over the cat and he...
Oh, dude. Goofy, y'all, were you here earlier when the dude was like, I'm the only one that's done it all and been successful? Or some crazy shit like that. You'd think a guy with minor fame and internet money / success wouldn't be so hurt by one girl. Like, bro, you got thousands of girls at your fingertips. Why would you put yourself in this predicament? Dude, I don't know, bro. I don't know. He's bi, so he has millions of options, actually. No excuse for abuse no matter what. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
He's
bro.
arguing with her about it, and she's arguing back. He's saying, you must fucking go,
Shit
you
is
have to go. I
wild.
said, don't say weird shit like he's going to be taken away, idiot. We cannot live together. Fuck off with this, my God. I'll get my own cat. Never said you can't talk to it. You're infuriating. Then he says, you fucking pushed me. It was a fucking joke. Then she says, off of me, off me. Then he says, look, I'm completely in my right to say I don't want to be with someone who's going to harass me over the cats. I'd rather not be in that situation. She says, I don't harass you. He says, yes, you do. She says, I got you off me when I said I don't find it funny. Well, if just talking to the cat is weird, then you have to leave my house. Then the last part, she says here, there are so many cases where I end up taking Bear into another room, saying that taking the cat off him is starting an argument when I only did it after he said weird things to him. Acts like a child had his toy taken away, when realistically I was uncomfortable with him being near my cat after saying what he does. These texts are also after the first time he dragged me in an argument, so I'm very much unapologetic in everything I say and toxic back. You can see how things get worse and worse, and I stopped caring about my words because I'm constantly drained daily hearing this abuse in person. It took a toll on me and my mental health. The last story he will manipulate is from September in his old flat. We're in a heated argument screaming at each other where he was in my face, belittling me for everything I do and have ever done, calling me horrible names. Every insult you could think of came out of his mouth to me. Whore, slag, bitch, nobody. I started crying, and he looks at me with a straight face and sighs, calls me boring, and laughs. I end up defending myself. I slapped him in the face. This is out of character for me, but he was screaming in my face abuse. I was backed into a corner not knowing what to do. This happens, then I grab my things and leave the flat and call to my friend and tell them everything that just happened. Alex spams me to come back and end up giving in and going back because I was scared. Then she shows the text where they talk about it. Hurting each other more isn't going to make it right. You said you slapped me yesterday. I was dreadful. She says, yes, I slapped your face one time. Name a girl who hasn't slapped a huge asshole. He says, I know I was. I'm ashamed of everything, but coming after my life and my family. Then she says, that's your defense. My girlfriend slapped me after I abused her. For legal and obvious reasons, I want to attach all the evidence I have, but in due time, it may be made public. He has tried to get me to stay quiet online and has suggested he would only deny all of this. If this happens, I will release more undeniable evidence. Now, I'm confused what he's talking about here at the end, coming after my life and family.
Evo, I was wondering the same thing. You think he's on a contract with Diddy? That's literally what I said. I said it was British Diddy.
Family. Maybe it's her saying earlier, you hate this because it's true and people are seeing you for you. And I know I've given little quips here and there, like shitting on Alex, but I just want to end it off saying it's entirely possible there's like a bunch of context missing here. Obviously, maybe she was incredibly, insanely abusive to him, and then it's actually the inverse, and he was the one that eventually started getting more and more crazy as things went on. That's not impossible. It's not like that can't happen, but we just don't know. And what we have right now, he definitely looks absolutely nuts. So, and then finally at the end here, she attaches a couple videos to show Alex kind of acting in this similar way, but in video form. She has one titled, That's Why I'm Pro and You're All Not. Here's that video.
What judging mental is, I think I may have said like 100 times to the point where it's actually really hard to follow what I'm saying because it's so flexible. I've gone, you could do this, but you might be able to do that, but you might be able to do that, and you might be able to do this, and this might work, but you might be able to do that. And it sounds fucking mental. I don't even understand how you could possibly actually follow along to it. Like most of my friends struggle to actually understand what I'm saying. But that's why I'm a professional and you're all not. Because, and then when you go, what? I don't like this. It's a
Then she says, your life might be down at the fucking drain.
Like massive issues there. And you think you can just fucking ignore them because like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a fucking famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because.
Bro, you have 2 million subscribers. You have 2 million subscribers, buddy. You ain't that sick, okay? You are not that sick. You are not that sick, okay?
Your boyfriend's a fucking famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small. Because you might not have anything to fucking lose, because your life might be down the fucking drain, but I still have quite a lot that I would like to fucking give. You're making it incredibly fucking hard for me. Just like Lewis did.
Yeah.
I fucking hate all of you. You guys are fucking like I can't make any videos with Paul Breach.
And then she has one, I'm going to fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick.
Sorry first.
So I'm a fucking whore mouth bitch retard cunt.
Is it generally because you're just fucking brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on the fucking offensive instead of the maybe
offensive.
Okay. I don't know what to call what you did. It was weird. It's always weird. You always take the fucking weird route. Just do the normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend
You're
would do.
acting
go,
like
I
this
didn't,
is
I didn't
all
mean
just
it.
me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you fucked this, royally fucked this.
And finally, dog.mp4.
Thing about you, and this is the thing, and this is why I fucking go round and round in circles. I join call, and when I'm getting, you're talking to me, going, this is the thing. Even though now, Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog, you don't fucking do it. You fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing, because you end up admitting that you fucked it all up anyway. So it's just fucking weird. And I know that you're going to end up admitting that you fucked it all up, which is why it's
And based on the last modified dates of these files, this was definitely being built up for a little while. I might be wrong, but I believe that whenever you upload something to Google Drive, that is when it is last modified. So she has been uploading things to this statement grouped document since May 11th of last year. So it's been something brewing in the works for her for a while, and then she just made this statement today and posted it. So of course, as stuff develops on this, I'll make follow-up videos, I'll make update videos, but this is just kind of a summary of this whole thing. I might make follow-up videos on like specific texts that I maybe just skimmed over that are more intricate and paints like kind of a different story, but I just wanted to get something out for you guys so you can see what's going on with this whole thing. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Once again, I don't really fully take sides when something comes out, but based on everything I've seen, I mean, this guy definitely looks, at least at minimum, he is somewhat mutually abusive. Even if somehow she was like setting the standard for that, which I haven't really seen, he escalated to the same exact level and then still participated in all the same exact bullshit. That's the only way I can see him arguing his way out of this, because the shit that he does is fucking deranged. It doesn't matter if a woman's being annoying to you or just bothering you or not answering her.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, this shit, if it's like arguing, if it's like arguing and shit, 100%. This shit though, I think it is good that it got aired out about this dude, because clearly he has a big reach, right? So like the more people that know that this dude's a fuck, the better.
Calls are hanging up on you. This kind of response that he has done multiple times is just absolutely unacceptable. And physical abuse obviously is just way too fucking far. So yeah, from the starting a YouTube channel, like forcing her to start a YouTube channel shit, all the way to like the cat shit, I am pretty leaning towards her side, Alice's side, because this is nuts. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. That's all I really got to say about this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
That is crazy. ImAllexx's second X has come out. Mr. President, a second X claiming abuse towards you has hit the South Tower. Yo, what the
New
fuck?
allegations just dropped against Alex, this time from another ex-partner named Annie. They put out a statement along with connecting it to Alice's statements, and it's another Google Doc. In this statement, the allegations are not nearly as hardcore as Alice's documents, but they do allege that they also felt like they were in a toxic relationship with Alex while they dated. And they also show one of Alex's iconic videos, the Back to Nothing video, and they put a completely new context on it.
What?
This video of him crying with the beanie on that a lot of people use in thumbnails, etc., etc. Alex's ex-partner alleges that this video is actually directed at them in order to manipulate them into getting back together. And like I said, yeah, they put a new context on it. So this doc is only 2 pages. It's not 82 pages like last time, so we're not in for too long of a ride. And before we read this document, just as a reminder, these are all allegations. Don't harass anyone involved. But let's just start with the allegations. It starts off with Annie saying, "My experience with ImAllexx. Though we never confirmed it to the public because I personally like keeping my relationships private, I dated Alex from June 2017 until March 2018.
And he would have been, let's see, if he's, how much older is he than me? 4 years older than me. He would have been, I would have been 16, 20. He would have been 20. He would have been 20 and 21.
It was the most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and I was lucky to get out of it when I did. When we were dating, though he was from England and I lived in America, we were pretty much never apart for longer than a week. We stayed in Europe for a couple of months, then went to America for 6 months. He couldn't stay 6 months straight due to visa implications, so he stayed 3 months, flew back to England for a few days, then came back to America for another 3 months. After this 6 months was over, and he couldn't come to America again for a while due to visa requirements, we spent some time away from each other. And during that time, with the help of my friends, I came to the realization that I was in the worst and most toxic relationship I had ever been in, and I had to get out. It started out great, as they always do, the honeymoon phase as they call it. But as time went on, things got worse and worse. I was fortunate to get out when I did, but reading all the new information that's come out, he's clearly gotten worse.
I'm not going to lie. I think even in the honeymoon phase, if a relationship isn't going to work out, you're going to start to spot signs. you're gonna see signs. Like there's gonna be shit that you see, and if you've like been in other relationships or you've been through shit, you know what you're seeing there.
During the relationship, he made me
But then again, these people were younger, so maybe maybe she didn't know.
feel insane, like I wasn't myself anymore. It never felt like he listened to me. I always felt belittled and inferior. Whenever we recorded videos together, he would constantly talk over me and never let me have my moment. Most of the time when I had problems, he always somehow made it about himself or talked about his own issues.
Yeah, this guy either has narcissistic tendencies or is just straight up a narcissist.
He would get stressed over his YouTube channel constantly and complain about uploading, as if it was the hardest job on the planet, and no one had it harder than him. His classic line was, "I can't catch a fucking break." If we ever had a disagreement, he would also sometimes allude to the possibility of ending himself over minor conflicts as a threat, so I couldn't continue with the conversation. It was nearly impossible to give him any kind of criticism, because it was like adding to the pile of minor issues that he had already blown far out of proportion in his
Jesus
head.
Christ.
Another thing he did was spin his own narrative and twist words. He didn't just do this in the relationship, but he did it in his work and with his friends. It was the main reason why many people stopped talking to him, because we started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama, and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he would just make everything so much worse. For example,
Yeah, Chucky, I hope she's doing okay too.
the Slazo situation.
Yeah.
Though it was never said in any of the original statements by Che, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was R word, and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. Somehow, the situation went from being guilty of being a bad boyfriend to all of a sudden he was a R-wordist. This was the final nail in the coffin, and I cut all contact with him after that.
What?
During our relationship, I bought him and I Alex and Annie bracelets for Valentine's Day because I was like, oh neat, a company with both of our names. You can see him pressing the heart on the bracelet to his lips in his Back to Nothing video, which he has since taken down from his channel. Then they link the video, which we're going to watch after we read this next paragraph because it's relevant. Annie continues saying, "This video was released as a response to me breaking up with him. He uploaded this video after I stopped talking to him as a way of trying to guilt me into replying to him. He did to me what he has done in his relationships with Alice, where he would fly off the handle and get mad, then act all apologetic and sad to try to get me to feel sorry for him and forgive everything he had said and done." And then here's the video linked from where she said in the document.
I think the worst part is that about 2 months ago, I for the first time in a year, I felt like I was truly happy. And that I had it all working out, and that I had it all sorted. And then I come back here, and within the first week, everything has just been... It's like a train just running through me. Just like...
Kirby.
You know, I feel punished for ever wanting to do more, ever thinking that I could, ever believing in myself, you know.
No. Oh, you corny bastard. Oh, I was a corny little fuck for a point in my life, chat. All like over the top Ted Mosby ass. I would never, even at like 16 or 17 years old, do some fucking cringe shit like this, bro. Holy fuck, brother. There's no way.
Ever wanting to do more, ever thinking that I could, ever believing in myself, you know.
This isn't a Ted Mosby moment, buddy. This is like fuck, dude. I don't even know. Who's like some psycho killer? Who's like somebody that obsessively stalked someone and then killed them. That's what this is, bro. Holy fuck. Dude, yeah, he's 20 in this video.
And it's eating at me.
Or 21.
And I've got so much to do, and, you know, I want to be my best self so that other people could have a good day, you know. I always forced putting on my best and wanted to put out the best and always wanted to put a happy version of myself. But I only ever wanted to show a happy version of myself. So I know there are people out there who feel like me who don't want to be watching people complain and moan and be like this. And that's not why people subscribe. You know, that's not why people watch this. That's not why people want to know me. And all I've been for the last year is just this shell. Because of
all these things that are out of my control that happened to me, and it's just built and built and built, and now, you know, the towers just come toppling down on top of me at the worst possible point. And the thing is, when I came back here, I tried to put on this happy thing, and I was like, I'm going to see my friends, I'm going to do all this, it's going to be great, we're going to be playing football again. It was such a lie. I just wanted to pretend that it was going to be okay, because that's all I've been doing, is just playing pretend and hoping that I grow into that, but it's just not working. I appreciate you guys are listening, and I appreciate all the kind words from everybody, and I appreciate the people who try to talk to me, and I do, and I'm sorry for throwing a lot of people away and just disregarding it, but, you know, it's going to be a rough few months, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep on trying. I'm not making this video so I'm going to go anywhere. In fact, I'm probably just going to carry on uploading because I need to stay busy, but
They fell after he's scared. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope people understand, because I don't really know where else to turn apart from here. You've fucking given me everything, as much as every fucking YouTuber says it, you know, but you can't give me everything. Thank you for listening.
And yeah, so if you missed it, there's him kissing the
And then at the end, he's looking down at it.
bracelet right here on screen. And it looks a lot like the one that she linked in the document here, which is the Alex plus Annie heart bracelet. And she continues saying, lastly, the only time he ever laid a finger on me was when he grabbed me as I was trying to run away from a conflict. We were trying to record a YouTube video together, and he was getting frustrated at having to restart the recording multiple times. He started shouting and beating his fist on the table, even going as far as to break his microphone. I was scared, so I got up to leave the room, which is when he grabbed my arm to physically stop me. I remember saying, "You grabbed my arm," several times in shock, as if to say, who the fuck would ever grab someone like that? Once again, I was fortunate that was the only time something like that ever happened. I got out before it got even worse, as it clearly has with the new information that's come out. It saddens me that it's all come this far. I wished Alice the best privately, and it breaks my heart to have seen all the things she had gone through. I hope Alice's and my story show you what he was really like behind the scenes. If you're in an abusive relationship, please get out now. You can't fix them. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, obviously these are not as hardcore as Alice's accusations. We don't actually get to see really any text messages or see any kind of definitive proof like how Alice kind of provided in her document. It's just kind of taken Annie's word here. But honestly, I don't know if it's crazy to say that I do feel like watching that video, the Back to Nothing video, I almost get the same exact vibe as the voicemail that Alice attached in her document. The one where he's crying and talking about like how sad he is and how much he just wishes he could have her back and everything would be awesome. I almost feel like it's just like the same exact like personality coming out. I don't know if that sounds just crazy to say, but like it gets the same vibe that is in this video that's in that voice memo. And so it's an interesting perspective to put.
And you think he would learn. If he was being genuine, you think he would learn.
On that. And also there's just other lines of him acting like being a YouTuber is just the hardest job of all.
You really can't. You can't fix people. You cannot change him. It's all up to them. Don't stay in a relationship thinking they will change. They never do. Yeah. Yeah, dude. The person has to be willing to change, you know? You can't, no matter how many words of encouragement or things you say or how much you give to them, if they don't want to change or become a better human being, there's nothing you can do.
All time, or that just gives him the biggest schlong imaginable, which is how he acts in the Alice accusation. It's also how YouTubers have accused him of acting behind the scenes for years now. So I'm not too surprised to see that. There's also these DMs that Annie replied to on the original accusation where Moist put pictures of Discord DMs between them back in 2018. Moist says, remember when he crapped in his en-suite bathroom at your house and left it there for multiple months without flushing it? Then we have DMs from 6 years ago where Annie says, the relationship was giving me depression and I couldn't handle it. I literally just went to his room to check on something, and there was a smell in the bathroom. Oliver, he hadn't fucking flushed the toilet. It was brown. I'm assuming this is Oliver responds, no way, laughing, what? Annie says, I wanted to puke and cry. Oliver says, I'm done. Annie says, there's so much I still have to clean. Then Annie replies to the Discord DM saying, for real, left my home with blood on the sheets from nosebleeds, toenails on the floor, and black mold festering on the toilet. It was fucking horrid. So it almost seems like we also have some kind of like Wilbur Sutt allegations on top of it,
Dude.
where he was also just some...
Dude. I think somebody needs to fucking... Somebody needs to lock this dude in a room, okay?
kind of like nasty slob, which I'm not really super surprised to hear.
Yo, what's up, you fried? How's it going, brother?
Given that in like the Alice documents, he was like flexing to her how awesome he was for taking out the trash.
Yeah, I forgot to say that, dude. Oh, wow, whoop-de-doo, dude. You become a better human being. You take out the trash. What the fuck?
He was like, I took out the bins. Isn't that awesome? Like trying to...
I mean, dude, I'm a man-child, and I know how to do that. What the fuck?
Seem like he was hot and cool and a responsible adult. So obviously this is just allegations that Annie's putting out there, but I'm not too surprised if it's true to hear that he is like nasty based on that attitude. It's not like that's impossible. But of course, as I said, this is all just allegations. Do not harass anyone involved in this. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about this. So see you guys tomorrow.
Well, we're done with hearing and seeing Alex, but I got one more. Oh yeah, we gotta watch this, but I'm not gonna watch that tonight. This will be another react for later. Where is it? Yeah. I said this! Mr. President's second ex has hit the ImAllexx. Not just one ex-girlfriend, but two. Alex is straighter than I thought. Yo, what? Listening to him talk is like pulling teeth. I like to think Slazo sat in an armchair in his living room, feet up on a stool, cigar in his hand, absolutely pissing himself laughing. I don't know who that is. Something I didn't know while recording this, but this Annie person was very active during the Slazo drama and apparently heavily helped push the false allegations against him with Alex. Video tomorrow, going over details, new responses from more of Alex's friends. Forgive me because I was not around during 2018/2019 when all this drama went down years ago. So I'm learning details as this develops. All right.
Tons of crazy new updates to this ImAllexx story.
Last one, chat. And then we're heading out for tonight.
If you're not caught up, the other day, ImAllexx got exposed for allegedly being a terrible and toxic, disgusting partner. I covered these allegations on my channel. It will also be linked in the description below. We've got updates from every YouTuber under the sun. Statements dropped by Will and E. Will and E's ex.
Is this? Oh, yeah, the other one was from 3 days ago. Third ex? What? All right, sorry, I lied. I fucking lied.
Ex-partner.
You frown. Thank you. Chucky, thank you.
Who both...
Chad, if you guys got to lurk, listen, I understand this is a heavy subject. Feel free to lurk, you know what to do.
say that...
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to skip forward there.
Statements dropped by Will and E's ex-partner, who both specifically say that they knew about what was going on for a long time. More clarifying statements from Memulus, from iNabber as well. We have YouTubers like Jay Swingler, who condemns people who are only now publicly speaking about this whole thing. Someone uncropped the original images in Alice's exposed document, showing that she had Alex saved as racist N-word on her phone, and she responded to that allegation as well. Italian Bach has put out a statement. George Clarkey, who was Alex's ex-roommate, has also put out a statement. Bluesdank has also put out a statement. Arthur TV. We're going over every single statement in this video. It's going to be chaptered below, so you can skip ahead to any YouTuber you might know or anyone you might want to see.
Now the Pentagon! Holy fuck.
As a reminder again, I have to say this every video, please do not harass anyone involved in this, and these are all just allegations. But let's go ahead and start with Mia, who is Will and E's ex-partner, who says, "This is something I've been aware of since May of last year, and it's something that, in my opinion, is well known throughout the industry. I can't speak for people who aren't in our group or who I don't see regularly, but the openness at which this was discussed amongst people last year, I genuinely find it hard to believe that creators close to Alex had no idea."
That's what I was about to say. He's like, I was talking to my friends. I was talking to my friends about it. Like, yo, what? What exactly were you talking to them about, huh? Hey, hey, hey. What's up, fish out of water?
This was going on. When I found out Alex and I were signed to the same talent agency, I immediately made them aware of the accusations and put pressure on them to drop him, which they did. This was June 2023. From the documents in the drive, it looks like things escalated even farther from what I was aware of. Emotional abuse, threats of violence, use of racial slurs, which is so heartbreaking. I don't know Alice personally, but sending her so much love and support. And so after Mia made that
We're reacting to the ImAllexx allegations and everything.
statement, Will and he also
Allegations.
put out a update on his Instagram story where he says, Alex, firstly, I hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia had already mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others haven't had contact with him since, or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I'd heard being discussed. That Google Drive is fucking abhorrent, and what he put her through is inexcusable. So already this is painting a totally different light on the story. It's showing that at least a few people knew about Alex's behavior and they had heard about it. How they heard about it, we don't exactly know. Whether Alice...
Zachary, what's up, dude? My night's going great, bro. How are you? What's new? Any gifters?
themselves told them, or maybe they found out through Alex or something. But this was known basically a year ago by these two people at least, maybe even a few more. And I only imply that they specifically knew about Alex just because of what Mia says in her statement. She says, when I found out, I told the talent agency, and then it escalated farther than what I was aware of. So does this mean that she was aware of a toxic relationship or just aware of him being a toxic person in general? And just to be specific on the timelines, Alice clarifies in her document that they started dating March 17th, 2023. And so June, when Mia claims that she cut Alex off, would have been 3 months into the relationship. So it's possible there may have been some signs by then. She does specifically say this is something I have been aware of, and that also this was well spoken about among a lot of people in the industry. And so of course then the natural follow-up question to that would be, how did people like iNabber not know? How did people like Memulus not know? If this was well spoken about in the industry since May of last year, when Mia claims, then why was there not steps to cut these people off sooner?
Urban, I did not.
And what does their personal timeline look like? Will iNabber put out a statement somewhat responding to this on his Instagram story. I say somewhat because he didn't directly reference it, but I personally believe he is responding to this. It starts off with him showing some text, and it just says, "The fuck is Charlie on about?" And then it's censored, and then they say, "Sure," and he captions it, "By the way, this is when I found out about the Alex stuff, April 16th. This is me messaging him after a creator made some tweets calling Alex basically terrible and something on the lines of, the truth always comes out." So allegedly, he's claiming he knew 2 months ago. And then he follows it up by saying, I'm sorry, this is a massive run-on sentence, so I'm just going to read it as he wrote it. He says, "Farthest thing I knew before that was rumors said to me by someone who went to a party that he'd fallen out with his housemates after they apparently wrote things down of him saying shit talk about them." I don't know exactly how to interpret this because this is just a run-on sentence, but it seems like he's saying that the rumors were from people who just talked shit, so he didn't really take them to heart, I think is what he's trying to say here. That could be a totally faulty interpretation, but feel free to comment what you think that means because, yeah, this just gave me a brain aneurysm trying to read it. He continues saying, "Back when Alex was living with the people he lived with, I did really speak to him much." I'm assuming he meant to say didn't. "Dude kind of went MIA other than YouTube stuff as he had a new set of friends, which was pretty normal. Only summer year, Alex started properly interacting with us in a server to play games. I've always been friends with him. Seen Alex about once since 2023. The dude never discussed personal stuff with us, lol. Solely just YouTube and games." He continues, "This was March this year when we thought they were still together or seeing each other, lol." And he shows censored messages where someone says, "Has to be Alice." Fraser responds, "You think?" And this person says, "I'm not answering these questions," to a simple question. "Yeah, I think so." Then iNabber continues captioning it where he says, We suspected they kept breaking up and then trying to work on things when refollowing each other and unfollowing. But the man never wanted to discuss it with us, ever. Literally zero idea what was going on. A refusal to talk about it.
You should watch it. He has come out about it, but he deleted all his platform media because his ex ran off with his son and they both accused each other of abuse. It's iffy. Thought you might want to know. Oh, shit. Lilith, what's up, homie? How many videos have I watched on this guy? This is the third one.
But no indication of the truth.
Oh, this is iNabber.
Extent. And then he shows messages where he says, "Oh no, they've unfollowed each other again. I just checked." And this was January 10th, 2024. He continues, "They were still making videos together, as was him and his old friend group until early 2024. So really had nothing to go off of."
What?
When I saw that tweet in April, I called him and was told about their toxic relationship. And from there to now, I and others were trying to work out what the hell was going on. And so he shows the date here being April 16th, 2024, which does match this message that he sent earlier where he says the fuck is Charlie on about April 16th. And it even shows the timestamp is 1923.
We're getting tea on this abuser, ImAllexx. This shit is insane.
And this message is 1921.
Yo, Evo, thanks for hanging. Sleep well. Have an amazing day tomorrow. This isn't the third victim yet. We're about to watch the third victim after this.
Makes me assume that this censored message is just them asking to call. The text looks like, "The fuck is Charlie on about? Do you want to call?" Sure. And then 2 minutes later, they had a conversation about their toxic relationship. And I can assume this call was with Alex himself based on the PFP. I think that's ImAllexx there. So it looks like Alex himself had a conversation with him around April 16th of this year. He continues, "With this Alex situation, I personally was kept in the dark on it for such a long time. I think what makes me feel truly guilty is I genuinely thought these two were really happy together until me and friends saw signs they kept falling out via unfollows and TikTok reposts. I know even before this situation, Alex has been involved in a lot of stuff, but I've always been loyal to him as a friend and tried to stick by him, even if he was perceived as a dickhead by a great many of people." So he's definitely referencing the Slazo situation and all this shit that went down back then. Then he continues, "Me and that man used to argue and fall out a lot, but last year when we started playing games together, I genuinely thought he was becoming a much better person and happier person, and I thought that was because he had finally settled down with someone, and that thought now makes me feel ill and an overwhelming amount of guilt. Me and my friendship group, Alex, and even Alice used to play games together quite a lot, and now looking back on what was going on genuinely fucking shocks me and makes me feel ill. Sorry to make these stories about myself, but I just thought I'd explain a brief timeline of events for farther understanding. Me and Alex had a very toxic friendship. I would prefer to keep that private for the most part, but with all these clips, recordings, messages, and the documents, I read them for the first time this week too, and that makes me feel more sick. The fact I got zero honesty even in the end. Whole thing is just awful, and again, nothing but my support goes to Alice." So him saying that he got zero honesty implies that maybe during that call that happened in April, when Alex was explaining the toxic relationship, he was being dishonest. That's what seems to be what iNabber is claiming here, saying he got manipulated in that Discord call. "I think what makes me feel really disturbed is being genuinely worried about him as a friend between December and March of this year. I noticed he was upset a lot more when we played games or discussed YouTube in calls. And I, plus others in the group,
Yeah, Limerick, fuck it, bro. Funky.
tried being there as a mate, even asking him what was up quite a lot.
Uh-oh, British speak, red flag.
Never got an answer. So instead, we just played games and hoped things would get better for him. Just a mate supporting another mate who was going through it mentally. Just so fucked up knowing why he was actually upset." But yeah, honestly, that's as much as I can really say, as that's basically the whole timeline. And that is how iNabber ends off his statements. And we have a follow-up statement from Mimulus as well, which I covered in my last video. But Mimulus follows up saying, "Just to follow up, Alex and I lived together between 2018 to 2022. They started dating in 2023. I've only seen him in person 2 or 3 times since moving out. I don't socialize much at all in the typical UK YouTube circles, especially in the last couple of years. I only found out about the situation in general on April 2nd of this year when a fellow content creator brought it up to me in a call when I suggested a joint recording between us and him. He said he didn't know any specifics or what was even being alleged, just that it was bad. All I had prior to this is that they argued frequently. A couple of weeks later..."
Oh, yeah, sure, Urban. Link it in the React on Stream thing. Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
"Alice started posting TikToks alluding to the situation. It wasn't until just after that I got a bit more clarity when I was out for dinner with another creator and they brought up the fact Alice had briefly published some text messages from him on TikTok before deleting them. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know just how bad it was until I went over all the information when it was made public. I don't want to take attention away from the victim, but I think it's important I clarify my perspective and timeline of events. Please send your support to Alice. Now, Nicholas Diorio is another YouTuber who has been covering this story, and he just sent me a list of screenshots that are allegedly the deleted messages that Alice posted on TikTok before everything came out, just so we can kind of create a timeline of events. And these are the messages he showed me. She sent messages, but with the rest of the context blurred out. Messages like, I'm going to effing KU, you're such an effing loser. This one about harming her physically, degrading her, you weird freak, I fucking despise you, you are the actual worst C word, you psychotic little C word, you delusional B word, you just make it up, go away psycho. She posted all these to her TikTok and deleted them. There's some more here. I hate you. You look like a horrible, ugly C word. Just a whole bunch of other disgusting messages that she did show in her document, but she allegedly posted these to TikTok and deleted them. So that is what I believe Mimulus is referencing here when he says that Alice had briefly published some on TikTok before deleting them. So he had seen these when they were making the rounds. So after all those statements, we have YouTuber Jay Swingler. He's a 2 million sub YouTuber who is also a part of TGF. He made a statement talking about this whole situation where he says, creators who knew about the whole Alex situation before it became public, only now speaking on it, is a prime example of creators being opportunists. Creators are so excited about drama, they completely forget it's a human being that's suffering. Where the fuck's the concern and genuine support for the girl? God, I hate influencers sometimes. And so this has really been kind of a hot topic of debate when I see people talk about like ImAllexx's friends. A lot of people say that there's no way that they couldn't have known. A lot of people say that they absolutely didn't. I think really it comes down to specifically between whether they knew about Alice in particular or whether they knew just that Alex in general was a narcissistic, manipulative asshole. The idea that they could have not...
Yo, what's up, Burning Embers alt? The bot's messed up, but you have been following since September 16th, 2021. Welcome in, OG. How are you doing tonight?
known that Alex was
yeah,
a
same
manipulator and a probably evil person. I think that's completely absurd. They were around during the Slazo drama. They saw how he acted during that. They had to know the extent that he's willing to go to tear people down and lie about people and overall just be a terrible person. But when it comes to Alice in particular, it is possible that they may not have known the details of it or just heard little details here and there like we got in a fight, etc., not necessarily knowing the full extent of how bad their relationship really was. And I think that that is possible that they didn't know that. But of course, Willany and his ex have put out conflicting statements to that, saying that they did know, so it puts this under a different perspective. It continues with another YouTuber named Italian Bach, and he says, I have read Alice's statement about Alex, and I'm absolutely disgusted by what I have seen and read. What he has done is inexcusable and unacceptable. I didn't know Alex outside of a few recordings we did a while ago and had no idea what was going on in his private life. Alice deserves all the support in the world right now. It's an incredibly brave thing she has done, and I truly hope she is doing okay. Another person by the name of George Clarkey, who was a roommate of Alex's, also spoke out on the situation where he says, in light of the recent statements and videos coming out about Alex and having previously lived with him, I know a lot of people have been asking for my opinion on things. This isn't and would never be behavior that I would condone on any level. A year ago, I decided I wanted to move out, stop making videos and associating with him. I had heard things he'd said about myself and others making videos with him at the time in a similar narcissistic manner shown in Alice's screenshots. I had spoken to Alice prior to her statement about his behavior and things that I'd heard him say to her, but I had no idea of the severity or relentlessness of what was happening. It's truly gross and disgusting behavior. I just wanted my standpoint to be known so the focus could stay on the person who was brave enough to tell her story. And we also have another statement from someone named Arthur TV, where Arthur TV does confirm what George Clarkey said. And Arthur says, in light of recent events, I just wanted to write to say how incredibly brave of Alice.
Why is everybody doing this on their Instagram stories, bro? Nobody uses like fucking Twitter anymore or anything like that. We're just all going to Instagram stories. Is this the fucking trendy thing in the UK?
Was to come forward like that. and how deeply, deeply troubling it was reading through all the details of such harrowing and utterly condemnable behavior. I know people have noticed that we've been making content just ourselves for a good while now. It's been that way outside of content for a while longer, though that was due to natural friendships, and I guess that's a bit less apparent to viewers when people are working together. And from current stories by George, Arthur, Fraser, etc., people now understand the reasons for that. I point to their stories because, although I never lived with them or witnessed any of it, I was made sufficiently aware of what was said about them/us and how it made them feel, so I think it's best for people to understand from people that did. Having now found out about everything with Alice, nothing really changes in that respect going forward, other than the reasons for us continuing to do so are now immeasurably more justified. So I apologize if this paragraph therefore seems irrelevant, or like I'm taking any focus off more important details. But I've seen a few messages and comments from people been asking for my and our position, though assuming correctly due to distancing, separation, unfollowing, and so on, so I thought it may be useful to provide clarity and remove any doubt. Anyway, the first thing I did when she posted, as my main and initially my sole priority, was to send Alice my love and support, and I encourage you to do the same. And we also have a statement here from Bluesdank where he says, "I'm sorry, but I'm going to be that guy. I fucking warned so many people about Alex's behavior, his lack of care for anyone but himself, and his genuine desire to want to constantly cause chaos, and I was ignored for a long time by a lot of people. Alice coming forward with what she went through has finally made even his closest friends realize, but the truth is he has done a lot of what was documented in Alice's case to others before, and people let him get away with it. Why? Very easy cop-out to just say, we aren't friends with him, haha, when realistically you kind of enabled his behavior to only worsen by giving him a platform. Why did the E-Boys even fucking exist when everyone was saying, why Alex? Which I believe is referencing the fact that the E-Boys group was created after the whole Slazo accusations, and I guess fans were not happy to see Alex as part of the group back when that was happening. He continues saying, this isn't a I told you so.
I don't know anything about the Slazo situation, so sorry about that, guys.
This is just me reacting to seeing his friends come out and act so out of the loop and acting like this behavior was never demonstrated before. It's infuriating. And now that we've read those statements, I want to just update something from my last video, which is this King Annie person, the second girlfriend of ImAllexx, who put out their own personal experience. They basically laid out this just short 2-page document saying that Alex was also toxic to them. But in one particular part, they say that in the Slazo situation, that Alex got involved in a way that she was not happy with, and that caused them to cut contact off. But just to be clear, based on the research that I've been doing, King Annie was someone who was a perpetrator in the false allegations against Slazo. She was actively participating with other members who were falsely accusing him of all sorts of crazy things, even saying things like innocent people don't stay silent for this long, and putting out a whole thread where she still condemns Slazo even after he made a video basically completely clearing his name from the false allegations. Putting out a statement still condemning him when basically the entire internet and all of Slazo's accusers had already ceded and admitted that they were wrong and apologized. So this Annie person has actively participated in false allegations. They have never apologized to Slazo for what happened with the whole situation. They never apologized for the false accusations that Alex and her group peddled towards Slazo, and she was still making statements over a year later after the alleged relationship. And here's her post still condemning Slazo. Let me just read this for you guys. In regards to the Slazo situation, Michael is still guilty for what he did in the past. Whether Che intentionally or accidentally left some bits out, he still admitted to it in the video, but people are glossing over it. He gaslighted Che, which is a form of manipulation. If someone talked to me like that in a relationship, I would have left. But Che was 14 and she knew no better while Slazo was 16. That's a massive mentality differences between those ages. Also, that's not how I remember it, is a shit rebuttal. At this point, it's he said, she said. I'm still sticking with my friend Shay. Though Shay may have made some mistakes, I don't want to be around someone who treats someone they're supposed to love like that. I hope he gets some therapy to sort out his issues. And so all that's to say, just take what she said in this document against Alex with a big grain of salt, a very, very heavy grain of salt. Of course, these are all just allegations, and it's not impossible she still cut off Alex afterwards, and it's also not impossible that Alex was still a toxic person to be with. But just in particular to the Slazo section, I just wanted to clear that up because she never apologized for her involvement in it. and her involvement in pushing those false allegations. And just to be clear on the timeline, this thread by Annie was made over a year after they allegedly broke up, Alex and Annie. But lastly, there was a thread made on Alice because someone was able to find that the Google Doc preserves image data even if you crop it out in the document itself.
This is crazy.
And they found
I did see this. I was like, oh.
that she had Alex saved in her phone as racist N-word. This person tweets out, "So I was pulling apart the doc that got dropped on ImAllexx and noticed that a few of the screenshots have been cropped. Interestingly, they were cropped within the doc itself, so Google preserved the rest of the image data which I was able to extract. Here they are uncropped." And she shows that this was the username that was cut out of some of the document images. Alice then did respond to this accusation by saying, "I write in my statement multiple times that I became reckless with my use of language because this was so normalized by Alex. I am well aware this doesn't excuse my use of the word, but it is an honest explanation. I apologize for any offense caused by this." And so I guess just blaming the use of the word on Alex. But yeah, anyway, there's tons of statements that have just been coming out from all sorts of YouTubers. I'm trying to compile it all in a video digestible form for you guys. So if you appreciate the work I've been doing, don't be afraid to subscribe. Leave a like on the video.
Mr. President, a third ImAllexx has hit the Pentagon.
Yes, you read the title right. There is now a third girl who has come out against ImAllexx.
Oh, brother.
The first one being Alice, which I covered on my channel the other day. The second one being Annie, which I also covered. And now we have the third girl, who is Jess, who includes a long statement about the way that Alex treated her while they dated, including completely dismissive behavior, such as leaving her in the front with an Uber driver who was allegedly doing things to himself.
What?
And Alex dismissed it, on top of her attaching text messages where Alex threatens her and threatens to end her multiple times for no apparent reason, and a lot more allegations as well.
All right,
She
Chad, I'm
tweeted
getting
out,
sleepy. We're
"This is
putting this a
my
little faster."
experience with Alex," and attached some notes and the text messages, along with quote tweeting a 4-year-old post that she made when they broke up in 2020, where she anonymously called out ImAllexx many years ago. And just as a reminder, these are all allegations. Besides the text messages I will show, which are pretty terrible, there's not any definitive proof for any of the accusations in this allegation, so just keep that in mind while I read. And please do not harass anyone involved. So let's just start from the top and read the notes attached to her new post. It starts off with her saying, "From November 2018 to February 2020, I was in an on and off relationship with Alex. As everyone else seems to experience, the first few months up to a year were as you'd expect with a brand new relationship. I can't speak much now, as 4 years later I have suppressed these memories and don't tend to think back on that time. I had made a statement in 2020 for my own personal closure, and I didn't expect it to go anywhere but just exist. I really wanted to reach out to someone, but I knew I didn't have the evidence because I deleted our messages to try and get over the breakup. I've included my original statement alongside a Facebook message between Alex and my friend during an Insomnia event where he thought I wasn't in our hotel room. He left to go see Slazo before the accusations, and I had woken up to banging at the door to said friend showing me this message and saying Alex was looking for me. I was in the bed next to him. He just hadn't bothered to look. When confronted, he laughed about it, and I told him to never say that about me again. While I'm thankful I'm now in a position where my current partner has helped me heal through the damage Alex caused, my heart breaks for Alice, having gone through so much worse and still dealing with the consequences. She deserves nothing but peace and happiness here on out. Nothing she has done will justify his actions towards her." And then she attaches those text messages she mentioned here, where it's Alex DMing someone, and he says, "Yo, where's Jess? For fuck's sake. I'm very angry. At bar. I'm going to kick her head in. Now I'm locked out. Might kill her. Might actually kill her." And this was in April 2019. Then a few minutes later, he tried to call for 30 seconds, and that's all that we can see in this DM. And she quote tweets her original tweet that she made back in 2020, which she mentioned.
This is the third woman coming out about ImAllexx.
And in this tweet, she says, "Trigger warning, mental/emotional abuse and depression/ now the year is coming to an end. I want to get something off my mind and have at least a little bit of closure." And she attaches specific names that won't be mentioned, but most can assume anyway. "Whoever is currently in a relationship where your partner is heavily one-sided, guilt trips you or puts you down, please get out. I know it's hard to think of wanting to leave, but I can assure you it's for the best. The start of my last relationship was everything I had wanted at the time. I was already living my best life, so things were only improving. The guy was super lovely and sweet to me, always cared and went the extra mile, but something changed not long into the relationship. It was like he was keeping things away from me, which obviously you'd tell your partner. I mean, I would have in that situation. There came a time his ex came back into the picture, and like anyone, I felt a horrible gut feeling. When they met up, she ended up going to his flat and went out clubbing with him and some mates, all of which I had to find out through social media. Nothing from him. I'd already made it apparent it made me uncomfortable, them two being together, but his response when I wasn't happy was, I didn't think it was a big deal, and I have to be friends with her for work. Anything I'd say, I was met with an excuse. No, sorry, I'll tell you next time or anything.
Oh, I bet it was the other girl. Oh my god. Night's going great, Darkoom. Hope your night's going amazing as well, brother.
So I just had to push how I felt aside and watch them on calls every night and talk all the time. Shortly afterwards, he broke up with me as he was planning on moving elsewhere, and he said the last 6 months were the worst of his life and how nothing good has happened. I was devastated and spent countless nights crying myself to sleep because at the time I genuinely loved this guy, and I'd do anything for him, and it hurt a lot that I couldn't make him happy. I made one tweet during this breakup that I saw a good-looking guy in the gym, and he flips out at me saying I'm a liar for telling him I'd wait for him and would only like him, and he doesn't ever want to be with me again. I broke down at work crying on the phone to him, trying to apologize and saying how genuine I was when I said I'd happily wait for him. All I did was make a tweet about someone being attractive. Eventually, he agreed to let me come and see him, and we started back up again as he said he was sorry for getting angry because he just missed. I'm assuming she meant to say missed me. He never moved in the end, so I'm glad I had to experience those awful nights wondering why I wasn't good enough anymore for no reason. One night, he went out and left his laptop with me. I looked through some messages and he was a lot closer with his ex than he let on. He would tell her his problems, but to me, he didn't want to drag me down or get me involved. He'd also message a girl complimenting her ass, but me tweeting someone was attractive was at the end of the world? I never mentioned this to him because I knew it would just cause an argument. I could never win with him. As time went on, anything that bothered me, I'd tell him, and I'd just be met with a load of messages that started with, I'm too busy, I don't have time for this, I'm not happy, I've got other things to worry about, the list goes on. He would always get angry at me, saying my feelings. Looking at him, he's not a scary person, but behind the scenes, he scared me when he was angry. At this point, my feelings pretty much felt invalid, and I knew I couldn't get to him about anything. I still did try though. Whenever he'd upset me, I'd tell him, and was met with the same response. Countless times, he'd reverse the situation and play the victim, to which I'd stop being upset and feel sympathy for him. I was always there for him with advice and help, but he was never there for me. One time, he told me he was feeling really down, so I drove 3 hours in the middle of the night to see him, yet when I told him I was down, I got met with something like, I'm working. For my 22nd, I spent the majority of my birthday alone, watching TWD as he was in bed all day, but I can't be upset at that because his excuse was being depressed. I picked out flowers as a present from him, and he bought me some Jaffa cookies, which I later got told they were meant for both of us. I'm not one to compare gifts as I love to give, but I took this guy to a 5-star hotel for his 21st, and he couldn't even organize something nice for us to do on mine. There's situations where he's been pure evil, telling me he hates my friends. During an argument about how I felt uncomfortable being sat next to a male Uber driver who was touching himself at times and kept staring at me, and my friends were simply saying they wouldn't let me sit in the front period, he sat in the back just so he could talk to his friend, and I just became invisible. That might seem a bit confusing on the wording, but basically she's saying that there was a time where she sat in an Uber, the driver was allegedly touching himself, and she communicated with her other friends this situation. They said, well, we would never let you sit in the front. But it seems like Alex was arguing with her over this, and the timeline isn't exactly clear, like if this happened in the Uber itself or just the next day. I'm not exactly sure, but essentially it's just alleging that he was completely dismissive of her being uncomfortable in this situation. He blamed me for not telling him sooner. However, if he had paid attention to me as a person, he would know that I have social anxiety and find confrontation, especially that kind, really difficult to deal with. He told me he hates fat people, then went on to jokingly call me fat when he knew I wasn't happy with my weight. I feel lucky that my depression doesn't get in the way of making others happy. No matter how bad I get, I can always make sure others are okay. Now I know not everyone has that same mindset. He struggled with his own mental health issues. He broke up with me on Valentine's Day this year after I sent him a text saying it doesn't feel like he appreciates me or loves me anymore, and which he blames me for breaking up with him, which I didn't. This year, by the way, being 2020 when she wrote this. He gave me excuses on why he couldn't do this anymore. Again, I'm too busy, I'm working, etc. I even booked time off just to spend time with him, told him the dates, and he never bothered to arrange to see each other. Again, too busy for me. But he told me he wasn't going to go out for drinks with a friend. However, that translates to just going to ASTA. I'm not sure what that is, ASDA. So he had to go at me saying I don't allow him to just go shopping with his mate. What triggered the message was him saying he was going out for drinks after saying he has no time for me. The fact I had to see his own friends with their girlfriends and seeing them make time for one another hurt like hell. His excuse for that was they do that because they aren't as passionate about their job as he is, so they waste their time. He never came to see me because that took away too many days where he could have been working instead. This made me feel like I didn't deserve his time or was even worth his time. Going on from Valentine's Day, I was obviously upset it was over, but I was able to manage it pretty easily at first. I try and talk to him, but he'd rarely respond. It wasn't until COVID hit that my own mental health crumbled more, and I had to watch people die every day in April. This is when I really needed him to be around. Not that he ever was anyway. It got to the point where I was sat in my car on the verge of suicide when I needed to speak to someone. I called him, and in the end, he turned his phone off and didn't answer because he couldn't be bothered to talk to me for days after I was having a mental breakdown every day, and I just wanted to talk to him. I still struggle to understand why he broke up with me, as the only thing he changed in his life was getting rid of me. He didn't get rid of anyone else. Apparently, getting rid of me was supposed to make his life better. Yet his friends were the ones who got under his skin, and they're still around to this day. Eventually, he blocked my number. I would see him on social media talking to everyone and anyone. Then she continues saying an extra for this one. He told me off for telling my friends how he made me feel as they didn't need to know. He doesn't tell his mates, so why should I? Couldn't go to him, not allowed to speak to my friends either. Crying emoji. She continues saying, calling random girls he's never even talked about before, and when I pointed out that he can talk to them but not me, he kicked off saying that's basically me trying to tell him he can't have friends. All I want to know was why I wasn't allowed the time of day, but this other new girl was. He'd be more happy to talk to her about her mental state, but not mine. Anything I would bring up after the break, I was yet again met with, I'm depressed, I'm busy, I can do what I want, I don't need this. For someone who would constantly remind me he had depression and use it against me, he never once took my mental state into consideration. I could have gone to a certain person about the situation, but he threatened me saying if I went to said person, I'd have no chance of ever being with him again. Well, now I don't ever want to be with you anymore. I don't see why people can't now know. The only leverage he had has now gone. This guy made me feel completely worthless, self-conscious, and gave me such a lack of trust in people that it's taken me aback how much of my current partner is understanding and willing to help me overcome my depression. He's literally having to deal with the damage that my ex caused. There's so much to it that I could go on for page after page, but these are the main points that stick.
Bro, if somebody did that, Chucky, I would find them and handle them. Frosty, what's up, homie? How's it going? How have you been? I'm glad she got out of that relationship. Yeah, bro, this dude. Holy shit. They gotta put ImAllexx somewhere, bro. They gotta.
Look out for me right now. No doubt if he catches wind of this, I'll get accused of lying or he'll just shout at me like he used to. I told him he was mentally abusive and he said, don't go throwing that around. I'd like to have full closure on our relationship, but I know he will never admit to how selfish and cruel he was, so this is all I can do. I have a lot of friends who have seen texts and heard voice
Valen Siege? Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's hype. Which one have you been enjoying the most recently? Or are they pretty much the same right now?
notes from him, and don't worry, they don't like you either, and we'll back this. Then she continues, I literally can't give Andy enough credit. I tell him something bothers me, he'll work on it / won't do it again. I cried into him one night, and he went back to work 10 minutes late. I had a bad day, he sent me flowers. This guy doesn't feel real, referencing her new boyfriend, I suppose, that was around back in 2020. And so yeah, as I said at the beginning, obviously these are just allegations. We don't really have much to go off of besides the one text that she showed, and that text is pretty terrible and also very showing of the pattern of behavior that Alex has. It's now 2 girls where we have very clearly seen his threats in text with. One girl, Annie, was just vague about it being toxic, but 2 have now shown proof of him saying deranged and vitriolic things about them while they were dating. And I don't really know how he can come back from this. There's just been so much overwhelming accusations from just multiple girls. I've said in my first video that it's possible that there was some sort of mutual thing going on, but the more that comes out, the less I think it's even a possibility that there's something mutual going on or that something is missing in the allegations. And just to be clear, anytime I've said that, it's not to defend Alex. It's just to suggest the only way I could possibly see Alex explaining the way that he acted would be for him to claim it was in response to mutual toxicity, which doesn't absolve his actions, but it would just put it under a different lens. But as I was saying, that looks less and less likely with every girl that comes out because this is just getting ridiculous at this point. But anyway, that's all I really got to say about this.
It's getting
So I'll see you guys
redonkulous.
tomorrow.
It's getting redonkulous. It really is. Yo, what's up, Felix? How's it going, homie? The what cookies allegations? I have a feeling he's going to stay under his rock for a bit. Staying quiet is basically the only control he has at this point. True. He's collecting allegations like goddamn infinity stones. How does Alex have so many exes and I can't even get a text back? Damn, bro. What's your profile picture? What's your profile picture, Aaron? Okay, I thought that was a Palais Real. Thanks, Chris, for putting us on this depressing shit before bedtime. LMAO, heart. Urgh. You're welcome. Hold on, let me see this. Yo, shout out. Was it X8? X8? However you say this dude's name. This dude, Foley encapsulated